Welcome, race fans, to Ohsweken Speedway for Six Nations Community Night. 4 classes all ready to take the clay here tonight at the Big O. I'm Greg Kellman. With me and Adam Ross, and we're going to send it to Clinton Jeffrey. Well,
that's going to do it for Hot Laps, Greg.
It is.
Another beautiful night for racing here at the Big O. Great crowd on hand.
It's a good Friday when you wake up and you don't have to worry about the forecast. It's a beautiful night here. Sun all day long, not a cloud in the sky, and it's a perfect night for racing. All 4 divisions in action. And if last week was any indication of how good the track was, how racy it was, we're in for a special one here tonight.
Full field in every class. You could almost say that last week, the 360 sprints, we had a great field of cars, one shy of what we would call full, but this week we've got everything that we need as we see Clinton Jeffrey walking across the racetrack to greet some of our very special guests. And the mini stocks roll out onto the speedway, and we will send it down to Clinton Jeffrey. When he's ready, he will take it over from trackside.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. As we get set to go, we want to welcome everybody here from the Six Nations Community Night. We're in honor of a great school immersion project going on here in Six Nations, and we've got 2 of the great students here with us tonight, Starley and Myra, and here we go. They'll give us a bit of an address.
Donna and Donnie get killed dance. Oh, loud? Donna and Donnie get killed dance. What time CEOs guy when go awado. Ne and wife can toss and guy decent and go week and on you. Ne always at scanner do not know. Ne dine and do a hey here Scott and Dwyer and going to go hot. Scott and Jordan on you and it can your tongue going to go hot. Dane and watch away sat on today. Nangan, the young guys that can drop one, no hot to run hook. Netigan, Howe, Guego, Yantos, and Guy Diso, Nate Cadoga don't get, Nate Scanner, do not know. Nadine always at Cadoga, Nicogas, and Isagoi Hood. Nadine and Dodawine on it, they don't hold your sat on today. Do no hot to run hook. Netigan, your tongue gonna go hot. Negane on that Hoyananda, Tahonzada, Negaganto, Hoyanto, Hot de one Gragget, Nato Gonyo, and Nokacha Hoyo, Negane, Gadoga, Neo, Guidigan Hasha, and Guadon say, Nadine, Dodawine on it, Guego, the run honyo, or twin Gronyo, Netigan, your tongue gonna go hot. Dane and watch away, so nigga hop behind the unta, Negan, go to go on a nature on duck, Nehane, and Nokacha, Yagodosha, Ne on it, Aze, Hanzakona, Nadine, and Dodawine on it, Guego, the run honyo, so nigga hop behind the unta, Netigan, your tongue gonna go hot. Dane and watch away, ne otorina no, ne Gadisha or the Hedoni. Negan go to go on that, ne wata, ne to hand ne gonyo no kucha hoyo. Negan go to Yaguya the die her took on it, the Garnos ne de wavne. Ne dine no the wine on it, go to one honyo, otorina no, ne Gadisha or the Hedoni, ne Tigani tongue gonna go her. Dane and watch away, ne Gadino, Gadia, son of gets, ne Nikidigan gets. Negan go to go on it, ne do hot this. Negan and Gakoini, Shagana, Gadino, ne Scano, Ayotonio, Kojakio, ne Scano, Ayahadano. Nedine, Dodawine on it, Guego, the one honyo, Gadino, Gadia, son of gets, ne Nikidigan gets, ne Tigani, tongue gonna go home. Dane and watch away, ne Oneganos away, or I'm gonna dino and got Negoana sick, and he had a note, ne or your no wound dog. Ne yon heko hooks at 100, ne ni yogan hekooks and you get the gusta. Ne dine and Dodawine on it, Guego, the one honyo, gonna dino, Negoana, Scandinio, ne or no one, and Tigani, tongue gonna go home. Dane and watch away, ne sugar not trying to get heko. Nega and Grosson Yosto, Scano, Donatino. Ne on her anger, Juana, Nato on today. Ne or not Nedano, sugar not Chinese. Nedine and Dodawine on it, Guego, the one honyo, Tigani, tongue gonna go home. Dane Wachawi, Santi Wawne, Negane, Garogan, Sahuit, Radoni, or the Hodiasto. Negane, Scano, Onigoya, de Wawne, Nehagan, Scano, Dunatino, Nedine, and Dorwine, or Nick, where go to one honor, de Wawne, and can you tongue when I go home. Negan, Wachawi, Net, Sahawi, and Anda, Tahonzada, Oihoguego, the wine only, Hoyakasam got Hodai Hodonio, touch Negas, and now in he. Negan, Giganto, Segoiho, Hegakwas, and Netqua, Hadionadigates, and Tiso, Dayton Honqua. Negan, Guy Whiteco, and the Ganos Hadi Hawis, Ne Aze, Hanonyagets, Canadani, Gahendanio, or Nawandano. Netni, Hanosta, Sahoda, Hayanto, or Nato, or Hondim. Negine, Scano, or not the Gahenge. Negane, Garogan, Nitorian, Sanesegoiho. Nedine, Doroa, Noni, Dayton Honio, Hegakwas, and Netqua, Hadionadigates, and Tiso, Dayton Honqua, and Netcani, Tonguanagoha. Negan Wachawi, Ne and Deka, Gakwa Gates was getting to go out to watch out certain Honqua. Ne Hawaii auto had Turks at 100. Negi Nequatigan, the Ogre when I had Gradigosa. Nequaton, hot die hard the hooks at 100. Negi Nescano, or Yotdonio, Gradigosa. Nehni, hot the got to Honga, Sahoda, Hayanto, or Nato, 100. Negan Negadogan, Itoya, Sunny Hawaii hot. Nedine, Dodawine on it, this on Honio. And Deka, Gakwa Gates was getting to go out to watch out certain Honqua, and it can you tongue when I go home. Negan Wachawi, Ne Sohika, Neat Doggets, and Tiso, Dayton Honqua. Ne, or not the downio, Sahoda Segoiho. Negan, Ne, Hawaii, one doctak, Ne, Yagodin, the Desto, Sanuko guys to Honga, Grad Gosta. Ne, Diagonia Gohenge, Exas on the Agoda Honge. Ne, Yakuga Honge, Sahoda, Hayanto, or Nato, Honde. Negan, Ne, Garoga, and Nicogia, Sanesegoiho. Ne, Dorwine, on it, Dayton Honio, Sohika, Neat Doggets, and Tiso, Dayton Honqua, and Gani, Tonguanagoha. Negan Wachawi, Ne audition Dasha and go Hidage, Nehane and Tiso, Dayton Honqua. Nehane Garoga, Sahodan Segoiho, Ne Wane, Neo Dagas, Tanji Windy. Negi Hane, Garoga, Neo, audition Dasha and go Hidage. Nedine Dorwine on it, Dayton Honio, Sanikaha, audition Dasha and Tiso, Dayton Honqua, and Gani Tonguanagoha. Dane Onan Wachawi, Saka Yanda, Sahada, Tawai, Nias, and Guidism. Saka Yanda, Gahuneksha, Nato, 100. Negan Negarogan, Sahuwe, Ho, Nikoha is Net to say when twas and also go hack or handle how much they get. Negan Ne Wada, Sodokoanas, Canadayo. Negan Ne Hawaii, Sunny Hawaii, Nes and Guidison, Dogot, Nushke, Ne Yakandak. Nedine Tachwaza, Neto, Ne Asonico here, Santa Honzaris and Guidison. Nedine Dodawine on it, Desodonio. Sodokoanas, Canadayo, Netgani, Tonguanagoha. Dane Onan Wachawi, Gani Hodage, Haduka Kyono, Negane, Diokia, Idoscano, Duntinum. Nene, Quake, Nequaco, Gaiwanko, Hodidaquaso. Nedine, Dodawine on it, Dayton Honio, Gani Hodage, Haduka Kyon, and Gani, Tonguanagoha. Dane Onan Wachawi, Hahake, Gonhide, Nagris, Guidism. Negane, Otonia, Neto, Seto, Nescano, I don't know. Negan hot day, Nishiget, Ne Assanti, and Gohegets, Nehodin Dosha. Nedine, Dodawine on it, Decision Honio, Gonhide, Nagris, Guidison, at Gani, Tonguanagoha. Daneto, Nagat Granny, Ige Hagagan Tagonio, Daneto.
How about a hand for our students here who gave us a traditional intro? Well done. All right, thank you. We're ready to go. We are just about to go racing. As you know, we are here in special school here in town, and we're supporting them tonight. So make sure you buy your hamburgers down at the food, and lots of the snack bar stuff will be going to help out their immersion school. How about a hand for our new reps here today? And we are ready to go racing. Welcome everybody here. We are going to start with the drivers in the missing man formation. In honor of two of our mini stalkers that we've lost over the years here at Ohsweken, Art Hill and Bone Longbow. We're ready to go. Greg and Adam, give us the starting lineup for mini stock qualifier number 1.
Thanks very much, Clint. Starting on the pole for qualifier number 1 is Crystal Souls out of Hamilton, the 81D. To the outside, it's Blair Roussel from St. Catharines in the 17R. Matt Newell lines up in third. He's from Hamilton in car number 2 with Jason Tolton to the outside from Guelph in car number 1. Lining up fifth from Brantford, the 64 of Nick Erskine. Christopher French to the outside from Stratford in the 54. Lining up seventh is Ken Hare from Niagara Falls in the 5K. Fabio Oliveri from Ancaster in the 16. He lines up eighth. Starting at ninth is Rogan Monahan from Hamilton in the 04 with Graydon Lyons from Cambridge in the 32L lining up 10th. Starting 11th is Aidan Maynard from Chatham in the 20A with Sean Taylor from Burlington in the 76 starting in 12th. 13th starting position for Port Colborne in the 14L is John Lubeck. And going 14th in car number 7 out of Troy is Matt Young. Starting 15th, last week's winner from St. Catharines in car number 17, it's Alex Riley. And going in the 16th spot from Hagersville, car 23 is Dusty DeBoer. And lining up in the 17th spot in the 38C, that'll be John Cote. Apple fritters have made their way to the tower. Wow, they smell phenomenal, Adam.
Many thanks. Benjamin Fields, I believe, is what it's called, and you want to make your way down there.
Wow. Commercial time? What do you think?
I think that was. Green flag is out on this night of racing here at the Big O. Souls leading the way, but here goes Newell up on the high side. That white number 2, brand new left side skin on the 2 machine. Peeled that thing back like a can opener last week.
He's got Nick Erskine right behind him in the 64. Nick trying to have a bounce back season after the rough go last year and that big rollover we talked about last week. Meanwhile, 3-4 wide through the middle of the pack, and Fabio Oliveri, who started kind of back there in the middle of the pack, he's still at the eye of the storm.
Rogan Monahan doing a nice job in that 0-4 machine. He works into the 5th spot. Got a little bit of ground to make up to the top 4. In fact, the top 2 have pulled away. Matt Newell and Nick Erskine with about 10 car lengths back to Ken Hare and Jason Tolton.
8 laps of distance for these qualifiers. 2 in total for the mini stocks. Same for the Thunders. They run a pair of qualifiers. Look at that 4-wide action. Luback there to the inside now of Oliveri in the 16. Aiden Maynard there in that beautiful number 20 as well.
We've got some great looking race cars here this year. Further back in the field, Matt Young and that number 7. They sustained some pretty heavy damage last week. Great to see them back out to the racetrack. As we're halfway through, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. The lead duo continue to put some daylight between themselves and 3rd place, Ken Hare.
Again, top 10 will transfer into the main event tonight, and then we'll take another 8 through the B main a little bit later on. Top 2 have broken away. Ken Hare is riding there comfortably in the 3rd spot. Right behind the top 5 is that battle we've been watching with Fabio Oliveri on the outside line. And down to the inside, the 14L of John Lubeck.
As we work back through that pack just behind these cars, Dusty DeBoer hangs on to the 10th and final transfer spot in the 23. He's got Sean Taylor in the 76 closing in, and Christopher French lurking a little further back in the 54.
Man on the move right now is last week's winner. Alex Riley is trying to inch his way towards the top 5. He'll work to the outside of Lubeck as we watch right now the battle for the lead. Nick Erskine to the outside of Matt Newell.
White flag going to fly this time. 1 more lap to go in this first qualifier for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Final time around, Erskine edges ahead as they go off of corner number 2. Newell not going away in the bottom. They'll go door to door in a corner number 3. Final time through, white flag for the final car across the line. Checkers now out, and at the line it's going to be Nick Erskine. Matt Newell 2nd, Ken Hare 3rd, 4th will be Tolton, 5th Riley, 6th Monahan, 7th was Oliveri, then it was Lubeck, Maynard, and it was Dusty DeBoer cashing in the final transfer spot.
We're going to have some good cars come B-main time a little later on. Great way to open the show, though.
I want to thank Six Nations Bingo, Bradshaw Brothers, AECON-SIX Nations, and Lone Wolf Fireworks, tonight's event sponsors here at the Speedway on Six Nations Community Night. And qualifier number 2 is heading on to the Speedway for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. This qualifier is brought to you by Halnor Mechanical. Jeff Elslager from Linden lines up on the pole in the 11J. On the outside, Randy Alway from St. Anne's in the 34. Doug Erskine lines up 3rd. He's from Brantford in the 64E. Mike Sarantakos in the 6X. He'll line up in the 4th spot. He's from Smithville. Starting in 5th from Waterford, the 46 is Wade Thorne. To the outside from Brantford, the 15, Joey Wilcox. Lining up 7th out of Caledonia, it's the Pinball, Mike Giverson aboard car number 11. And starting in the 8th spot, she had a podium finish 1 week ago, car 32 from Dundas, Jillian Hills. Starting at 9th from Smithville, the 20J is Nathan Joyner. Craig Vlasic at Port Colborne, the 44, starts 10th. Steve Miller out of Paris in the 79 starts 11th, with Tim DeBoer from York and car number 9 going 12th. 13th, Mason Anderson from St. Catharines in the 4-8. Tristan De Silva starts 14th. He's from Waterdown, the 0-1. That is Martin Schroeder from Beachville in the 66X, and Jeremy Cooper bringing up the tail in car X. He's from Hamilton.
Noticeably absent this week from the roster, Ashton Dickey. Doctor's orders, still suffering some symptoms from a concussion suffered last Friday night in a racing accident. So, erring on the side of caution, they're going to take another night off, and we should see Ashton Dickey back in action next Friday night.
Right now out front, it's all Randy Alway with Jeff Elslager in tow. And for Elslager right now, he wants some redemption after last week. Came in last week, definitely one of the title contenders after a solid 2023, but things fell apart quickly for the driver of the 11J.
Well, look at our title contenders from last year. Ryan Hiller, defending champion, hasn't been out the first 2 weeks. Ashton Dickey had a shot going into the final week. He's not here tonight. And last week, Jeff Elslager failed to start the feature event.
So far, the best of 2023 has been Mike Sarantakos. He had a good solid run last Friday night. He's running right now in that 4th spot, but he's got company as Wade Thorne looks below him as they go into corner number 3 as we watch this battle for the lead.
Steve Miller brings that red 79 back into the pit, so a problem with that race car. We'll stay under green with a great side-by-side battle for the lead. Jeff Elslager now up on the outside of Randy Alway in the 34. They've got a big advantage over Jillian Hills holding down the 3rd spot.
Jillian looked very solid 1 week ago, finished 3rd. She's worked her way from 8th to 3rd here in this qualifier. And she said, Dad built a solid car. And yeah, he did so. Doing a great job right now running in 3rd.
Well, Glenn Hill's longtime tech inspector here at Ohsweken Speedway. He knows the rule book backwards and forwards.
2 laps left to go. This is Carter Long aboard the flag stand here tonight with Elslager. Alway 1 and 2, then quite a gap back to Jillian Hills in 3rd. Sarantakos holding down the 4th spot over Wade Thorne.
Looking back to the final transfer spot, Jeremy Cooper has it in the X machine as the white flag flies. One more time around, they will go. Martin Schroeder in the 66, 1 spot out, trying to make a move on the X machine. Looks to the inside off of turn number 2. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Elslager over Alway. Jillian Hills comes home 3rd, then it's Sarantakos, Thorne, DeBoer, Mason Anderson, Craig Vlasic, Tristan De Silva with Jeremy Cooper getting that valuable 10th spot.
HRW Automotive Mini Stock Qualifiers brought to you by Helnor Mechanical are in the books. Top 10 from both of those. We'll go to the main event, and we'll send the rest to the B main. We'll take another 8 cars for a 28-car starting field in the feature.
You are all math tonight, Greg.
Yeah. I'm good with numbers today, and I know that my father, Dale Kellnan, standing down there in that bright yellow neon vest, taking photos. It's his birthday today. I won't tell you how many years. Those are the numbers I will leave out.
Well, speaking of birthdays, it is also Kim Banyard's birthday.
Happy birthday, Kim.
I understand she turns 36 this weekend. That's what Terry suggested. We'll go with that, Terry. Megan Mitchell celebrating a birthday as well, so happy birthday, Megan. Lots of birthdays.
Good way to end the month of May. I can't believe it's June tomorrow already.
My goodness.
Where did it go? Cool Kids Ice and Water Corpac Merchandising Sprint Cars out of the racetrack with their first of 3 qualifying heats, starting on the pole for heat number 1. First outing of 2024 with us from Lewiston, New York, the 81 Derek Jonathan. His outside from Dunnville aboard car number 46. That'll be Kevin Pauls. Lining up 3rd from Caister Center, car 11 is Jamie Turner, and to his outside from Binbrook, car number 9, the live wire, Liam Martin. Starting in 5th from Bowmanville, the 70 MM, that's Dale Curran. Lining up in the 6th spot out of Beansville. That'll be Josh Hansen in the 88H. Rolling off in the 7th spot, last week's winner from Scotland in the 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Starting in 8th out of Grimsby, car number 90 is Travis Cunningham, and Cole McDonald from Haldeman in the 10C starts in 9th.
A new procedure tonight. They had a driver's... Clinton Jeffrey, is that what you were going to pop on?
I just had a report. Liam Martin's got an engine change going on, guys. That's what we know from the pits. Go ahead, Adam.
Jonathan leads them into turn number 1.
Dale Curran in tow. I believe that's who that is there. Yes, it is in the 70mm with Josh Hansen right behind him. He'll look low on Curran. Take over the 2nd spot.
That car got a little upset down into turn number 1 on Curran. He's going to slide to the inside. Couldn't clear the 88 of Josh Hansen. Hansen will hang on to that 2nd spot and run way up to the wall of the exit of turn number 2. Look at the head of steam for Dylan Westbrook.
Wow, he comes in there hot and heavy, comes off of corner 4. He'll have the 3rd spot. Last week's winner started 7th in this qualifying heat, and he's up to the 3rd spot in 3 laps.
Halfway through already, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Jonathan with a healthy advantage, nearly half a straightaway in that 81 as they battle side by side for 2nd.
Right now out in front, it's all Derek Jonathan. Good to see. He really struggled in 2023, but he's got some speed right now. Driver out of Lewiston, New York, as I say that, has something go wrong and heads to the pit area.
That was a quick decision to take that exit off of turn number 2, and that car rolls to a stop at the exit. He'll get some assistance to get deeper into the pits, but that puts Josh Hansen out in front. Hansen doing a great job keeping Dylan Westbrook at bay.
Hansen works it off of corner 4 to the white flag. Dylan Westbrook says, no, I'm not done just yet. He'll throw it down into corner number 1. Can he close the gap? Corner number 2 is going to be the key. And Hansen does a good job to keep the distance.
Final time through 3 and 4. Josh Hansen going to hang on, taking the win over Westbrook.
3rd spot in the line will be Dale Curran with that top wing completely down in his eyesight.
Yeah, that's more than an adjustment right there.
Wow. Good driving by Dale Curran. He continued on with it like that. Right behind him was Jamie Turner. Then it was Travis Cunningham, Kevin Pauls, Cole McDonald, and Derek Jonathan. We'll take a quick break and be right back here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Are you looking to sell or fix your car? You can do it all with Kenny U-Pull. Whether it's running or not, we pay you top cash on the spot. We'll even tow your car off your lot. Need parts? Our yards have over 25,000 cars ready to be stripped and over 10 million car parts ready to be pulled. Find what you need at a fraction of the manufacturer's price. Fix it or sell it with Kenny. Visit KennyUpull.com today.
Ready for heat race number 2 for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Qualifying heats brought to you by Plastic Auto Recyclers. Starting on the pole out of Prairie City, Iowa. Car number 1 is Linton Jeffrey to the outside from Ohsweken. And car number 68, it's Aaron Turkey. Lining up 3rd from Thamesford in car number 7, it's Eric Gledhill to his outside from St. Williams. In the 21, John Burbridge Jr. Starting in 5th from Freelton, the 12 Double D, Darren Dryden. And to his outside, in car number 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. Starting in 7th, hot off a runner-up finish 1 week ago from Tilsonburg in the 17X, it's Corey Turner. And lining up in 8th out of Ohsweken, the 77T, Tyler Paulus.
You never know who it's going to be from 1 week to the next. We got to give a special shout out to one of John Burbridge's crew members, Eddie. We understand he's not feeling too well tonight, suffering from some asthma. And a dusty dirt track is probably not the place to be. So, Eddie, we hope you're enjoying the show.
I got to give a shout out to Mike Doucette as well, who usually sits down here in the stands in front of us. He's at home a little bit under the weather, but said he's tuned in on G-Force. So hope you enjoy the show, Mike. And unfortunately, you're going to hear all about it tonight. Although there is a mute button. Just so you know.
Feels okay. Yeah, fine.
Can you turn off those guys? I've heard you're annoying in that as well.
I believe it.
Green flag is out. Lyndon Jeffrey goes up the hill with teammate Aaron Turkey in tow.
Another teammate, Glenn Stiers, in the zero, so GSR with 3 of the top 4 spots, now the top 3 spots.
Close quarters down on the front stretch. Eric Gledhill, Glenn Stiers wheel to wheel. Gledhill will take the spot going down the back stretch. He holds down third.
Stiers continuing to work the bottom in the zero machine out in front. Linton Jeffrey rolling away. Aaron Turkey doing a good job in second. Now Stiers going to work to the outside in 1 and 2.
Stiers really dives down low. Gledhill will come down the hill, block the lane. One driver really struggling here in the opening laps. Corey Turner, he'll finally get by Tyler Powless, but having any sort of problem getting towards the front, that's 17X.
Powless gave that car a good drive down into turn number 1. He's going to try it again in 3 and 4. Slide job by Powless over Corey Turner. Turner going to try to cross him back over down into turn number 1. He'll do it.
Off of corner number 4 comes the leader as we watch this battle between Powless and that Lone Wolf Fireworks 17X of Corey Turner.
Not missing much out in front. Linton Jeffrey having his way with this one. Aaron Turkey 10 car lengths behind, runs in the second spot with 2 laps to go.
Aaron Turkey holding down second over Gledhill. And now Dryden will get by Glenn Stiers. He'll take the 4th position away from the Ohsweken Flyer.
Stiers trying to fire back on the inside. 1 more lap to go. Slide job by Glenn Stiers. Dryden going to cross him over down into turn number 1.
Dryden, Stiers loses the handle in corner number 2. Ran out of real estate there. Checkers out. Linton Jeffrey will pick up the win over Aaron Turkey. Eric Gledhill, then it will be at the line. Darren Dryden over Glenn Stiers. Corey Turner, Tyler Powless, and John Burbridge Jr. You know, I touched on a little bit about how it looked like Corey Turner struggling a bit in that qualifying heat, but at the same time, you look at this full field, Adam, there isn't a slouch. You know, you've got some teams that don't have a whole lot of money behind them, but there's still drivers that get it done. You know, John Burbridge Jr. can have good, solid runs, you know, and everyone in this field. Kevin Pauls is learning his craft. There isn't a slow car in the 360s, so to move up through these qualifying heats takes a lot of work, and Corey Turner, I'm sure by feature time, we'll see him moving through the field.
I think there were some hard feelings there between Tyler Powless and Corey Turner there on the cool-down lap. I didn't see it, but I heard race director Dave Hunsinger mention it on the one-way radios. Driver showing a little bit of passion there on the cool-down.
Third and final qualifying heat set to come out onto the racetrack. Again, brought to you by Plastics Auto Recyclers. Starting on the pole for heat race number 3 from Hamilton. In the 19D, that'll be Alan Downey. To his outside from Scotland in the 87X, Sean Evans. Lining up in third for Mount Bridges in the 45, Tricky Nicky Nick Sheridan. Starting in the 4th spot, joining us this week, didn't make it for the season opener, but out of Grand Island, New York, in the 21K, Kyle Phillips, talented youngster. Starting in the 5th position, finished 3rd 1 week ago from Dunville in car number 15, Ryan Turner. Going off 6th out of Interkip, the 84, Mike Lichty. In the 7th spot from Beachville, car number 5 is DJ Christie. And starting in the 8th spot, he has not had much success at drawing pills so far this year. Starting at the back in this qualifying heat, the defending champion out of Stevensville, the 71, Mike Bowman.
Another birthday announcement, Greg. We've got to wish DJ Christie's sister Alex a happy birthday. final heat. For the Cool Kids, Core Pack Merchandising 360 Sprint Cars. These heats presented by Plastic Auto Recyclers all year long. Carter Long with the green flag in hand off of turn number 4, signaling for the front row to keep it even before they jump on the throttle, and they're off.
Alan Downey working that inside line. Here's Sean Evans on the outside. He's got Nick Sheridan, gets a little sideways there. Kyle Phillips had to whoa up behind him.
That got pretty snug out there. Still snug at the exit of turn number 4 between Sheridan and Sean Evans. Alan Downey leading the way. Downey had his share of problems last week. Great to see him up to speed in that number 19.
Yeah, Downey definitely has got some horsepower hooked up here tonight in the 19D. Leads over Sheridan, Evans, and this good battle between Kyle Phillips and the 5 of DJ Christie.
Rumbling through 3 and 4, Downey holding the pretty wheel. Nick Sheridan trying to close that gap, but Sean Evans all over the 45. He'll look to the inside in 1 and 2. That was a long, slow slide job. Nick Sheridan checked up to avoid contact, and then he'll look to the inside.
And Nick Sheridan's nose wing has gone flat on the back. The braces have dropped down, so he's got a little bit of a different arrow. Feel unsure to that 45 right now.
DJ Christie trying to close in on that 45, make that a battle for the 3rd spot. Sean Evans slowly closing that gap. He's a little quicker than race leader Alan Downey, but as soon as I said that, he got loose out of turn number 2.
Time by, 2 laps left to go for Alan Downey. And the 87X is right there within a car length now. He's to the inside. He'll grab the lead off of corner number 2. Downey tucks in line.
White flag going to be in the air. 1 more lap to go. Sean Evans out in front. Does Alan Downey have anything to fight back with in that number 19?
Loses ground that time in number 1. A little bit of a bump down there that Downey hit that upset the car. So Sean Evans is going to cruise to the win here. In the Instapanels 87X over Alan Downey. Nick Sheridan 3rd at the line over DJ Christie. Ryan Turner 5th, Mike Bowman 6th, Kyle Phillips in the 7th spot. Mike Lichty will cross the line in the 8th position. So that concludes qualifying for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising 360 Sprint Cars, brought to you by Plastic Auto Recyclers.
That's exactly what we like to see, Greg. Hard racing. I was going to say clean racing, but there was a couple of slide jobs in there that were a little suspect. But hard racing, nobody getting destroyed.
Everyone rolls safely to the pits. That's all that matters.
That's what I was trying to say. Rolling onto the racetrack now. The Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks for their first of 2 Hunsingers qualifiers. Here's how they'll roll off. On the pole out of Port Robinson, the 108 is Zach Bleach. Starting 2nd in the 17W from Tilbury is Travis Whittle. 3rd from Ancaster in the 19, it's Kyle Wirt. And on the outside of row number 2 from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple. 5th from Keister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. 6th out of Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. 7th from Ohsweken, the 28D is Robbie General. 8th from Binbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. Starting 9th from Hagersville, the 49 is Dave Bailey. Rounding out the top 10 from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. 11th out of Ohsweken, the 24 is Blake Bombury Jr. 12th from Keister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. Rounding out the field in the 88 from Simcoe, it's Aiden Nye. Story time, Greg. Jim Lampman back in the 28 Camaro. He blew the engine last week in the heat, jumped into his Monte Carlo, and got the Hard Charger Award. Really had a great run. Put a different engine in the car to go race Merrittville in the Camaro, and when they put it into gear, it kept stalling. It had blown the engine so severely and seized it up that something also broke in the transmission. So he jumped into the Monte Carlo, had a solid run at Merrittville, 3 and 4, the final time through 3 and 4. What do you say he broke? I think something else in the drivetrain. I think he went through 2 transmissions and 1 engine in 2 days.
But he's had lots of speed no matter which car he's in, so that's been good so far for Jim Lampman. As we get things underway, Bleach will have the lead over Go Fast Teeple, and Mike Klazinga with a solid runner-up spot last Friday night. That car, I think, is going to be a contender this year.
It is, and that car is beautiful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, maybe not so much in the driver's door now.
Squeezed up towards the wall, but he didn't lift. Mike Klazinga with lots of speed, the 93. We've got to mention Travis Whittle did not make the call for that. He was supposed to start on the outside of row number 1.
Travis with a nice looking ride this year as well, so hopefully he'll be able to bring that out for the B main later on with Bleach out in front. Then you've got Kyle Wirt, runner-up last year in the point standings, running in that second spot. Ron Logie on the bottom, Klazinga on the outside.
3 wide, they battle for the 6th spot. It's Dave Bailey in the 49 down low, Robbie General in the 28D in the middle, and Smokey Tim Phelan up on the high side in that 427.
Good battle up front amongst the top 4 as Dave Bailey's trying to work his way up towards that battle as well, but it's Bleach right now holding off the 19 of Kyle Wirt. Logie running that inside line. He's another one of those drivers that last year showed signs that he can run with Bailey, Beagle, Wirt, and the likes, and here he is again. See if he can find his way to victory lane in 2024.
Fantastic battle among the top 3. Bleach in that 108 doing a great job to hold off Kyle Wirt and Ron Logie. They're about to have some company, though. Dave Bailey and Mike Klazinga, phenomenal 5-car battle.
Side by side, Bleach and Kyle Wirt as they come down the hill off of corner number 2 with Ron Logie in tow. Dave Bailey now is squeaked by Klazinga and edges ahead to the 4th spot as they work it off of corner number 4 another time.
The more they start to battle at the front of this field, though, the more opportunity there is for Dave Bailey and Mike Klazinga to find another lane. We have not seen the end of this battle for the lead as Kyle Wirt edges out ahead of Bleach in that 19 machine.
Good battle right now for 7th and 8th with Go Fast Teeple and Adam Plazik. Good to see for Adam Plazik, who's had some struggles here and having a good qualifying run right now.
Kyle Wirt is fighting a very loose race car. He is fast, but that car's a handful.
Off of 4 this time by 2 laps left to go for leader Kyle Wirt over Bleach. And then you've got Logie holding down the 3rd spot.
Greg would be able to see that, but he's got an apple fritter bag actually blocking his view.
Can't see anything. Is it more important than apple fritters?
Well, well. Dave Bailey clearing Klazinga at the white flag. Klazinga had to lift just a little bit as Bailey came across the nose of that 93. He's going to take a look at the outside of the 49.
Final time through 3 and 4. Wirt's checked out, but the positions behind him yet to be settled. Wirt will get the win. Zach Bleach second. Oh, Bailey up into Klazinga at the line. So it's Wirt, Bleach, Logie, then Bailey and Klazinga. Robbie General will finish in the 6th spot over Adam Plazik, Go Fast Teeple, Tim Phelan, and Blake Bomberry Jr. Jim Lampman, again, problems in the Camaro.
Ruh-roh.
So these apple fritters.
About those fritters.
Wow. If you haven't been down yet, folks, and here's my suggestion. Get some ice cream to go with them. That's all I can say.
Well,
you can have too much of two good things.
Oh, boy. You know, it's nice when you invite people to come out to the races and play until they start picking on you about apple fritters. So, McGregor, zip it. I'll eat all the apple fritters I want. Qualifier number 2 is going to line up like this. On the pole out of Hagersville, the number 8 is Ryan Denning. Alongside from Harley, the 37 is Rob Hoskins. Third from Victoria, the 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. Fourth from Canfield, the 03 is George Grossel. Fifth from Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. Sixth out of Dundas, the 24R is Rodney Rutherford. And seventh from Caledonia, the 55 is Mike Thorne. Lyle White starts 8th in the 14 out of Ohsweken. 9th is Kyle Andrus from Hamilton in the 43. The 88L is Logan Ferguson from Caledonia. Scott McPhail in the 07 from Hamilton. And rounding out the field from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman.
What just happened to your chair there, Adam?
I don't know.
You've
but
only had like one apple fritter. I've had 3. Should be
Story
my
of my
chair.
life. Just can't have nice things.
Ryan Denning rolling that outside line, trying to get by last week's winner, Ryan Beagle. I tell you what, you put Ryan Beagle up at the front at the start of a race, it's going to be hard to catch him, and that proved true last Friday night.
Certainly did, but Trevor DeBoer in that 23 right on his heels. DeBoer battling side by side with Denning. That 23 was all sorts of loose last week, and it is loose again tonight. Someone's engine doing some snap, crackle, pop out there.
Wasn't just your chair?
No, it was more than my chair.
Trevor DeBoer right there in that back bumper of the Ackland Insurance RK Automotive 84 RK of Ryan Beagle. Ryan Denning right behind DeBoer in the 23. Rodney Rutherford having a good solid outing right now in that 4th spot.
I was talking to Alvers there at the drivers' meeting, Rob Hoskins' brother, and he said they made some shock changes on that 37. That car looks pretty sporty right now in the early going in this qualifier.
It does. It looks very comfortable, and sometimes for Rob, it's you can tell he's fighting the handling, but it does look pretty stuck to the track here.
Well, and that's exactly the adjustment. He said they changed the front shocks to try to get the front end of the car to stop from bouncing. They want it to plant into the corner and be more stable, and it looks like that's exactly what it's doing for Hoskins.
So Mikey Bobby down to the inside of him. Of course, we made note last week, starting his 20th season of racing, is Mike Thorne in that Burger Barn 55.
Beagle out in front, pulling away slightly from Trevor DeBoer as Rodney Rutherford might have tagged the wall off of turn number 4. He's using all of that racetrack trying to close in on Ryan Denning in that black number 8.
Ryan Beagle, winner 1 week ago, 3rd place in the points 1 year ago, and he continues to command this qualifying heat. Again, top 10 transfer through these qualifiers, and then we'll take another 8 through the B main.
Rutherford slides to the outside of Denning on the exit of turn number 2, but Ryan Denning able to drive the car deeper into 3 than Rutherford, so he's going to have to wind up and try again. 2 laps to go. They work down through 1 and 2. Now Rutherford running in the time. Oh, Denning! Boy. All by himself. Denning into number 8 spins it around.
That will bring out a caution.
So this is a good time to talk about the drivers' meeting tonight. And I don't know if it was a sprint cars only type rule, but it came up that we are seeing a lot of drivers, and it came up last week, a driver doing a 360, so spinning out, a yellow flag being called. So we look at a replay, there's no contact there. Ryan Denning just got loose and went around. Rutherford able to go around him. But the consensus in the meeting was if a driver spins out, you need to throw the yellow. They want to discourage drivers from mashing the throttle to keep a car going, because you never know what direction it's going to take off in once it gets traction once again. So Dave Hunsinger going to be making those calls tonight. A little bit quicker on the call than we've been in the past, but that's at the driver's request.
They're the ones with their lives on the line, so their input is definitely imperative.
I think you make a great point.
Ryan Beagle sees the white flag, but boy, he's got Trevor DeBoer right there. Rodney Rutherford looking really strong in that 24. He's to the inside of DeBoer. They'll race wheel to wheel off the corner. DeBoer with a good launch.
How about Mike Thorne in that Burger Barn 55 working to the outside? This is as racy as we've seen him in ages. Checkered flag in the air. Beagle for the win. Then it's DeBoer, Thorne, Rutherford, Hoskins, Huffman. Again, good run for Casey Huffman. Ryan Denning passed a few of them after the checkered flag.
And my correction, there's 25 entered tonight, so everyone will make the A main. There is no need to alarm the qualifying positions.
You made a mistake?
Well, it's a bit of a sugar rush at the moment I'm going through.
Wow.
It's what's on the inside that counts, and there's apples in the
That's
middle.
a serving of fruit. The excuse department called. They want your lame excuse back. They'd like to refurbish it. and offer it back to you for next time. Do better. So, the elephant in the room, Greg, and it's not us. Look at that beautiful Ohsweken Speedway sign. It's almost like it's lively. It's almost like it could move down there behind Victory Lane. Next week, you're going to be able to watch our GeForce stream. Our live stream is going to be live at Ohsweken Speedway for people at Ohsweken Speedway.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We have had it previously up in between corners 3 and 4, I believe a couple of years ago for the Nationals, and we have taken it to Delaware with us before, and it's cool
right.
for the fans.
And how cool is it? Like, look, we're looking directly into the sun, and you can still see that screen. That technology is amazing. So folks who are here in the grandstands, and we always say how much we appreciate you being here, even though we often talk to people and refer to the stream, you're going to see exactly what we're talking about when it comes to replays and maybe focusing on a battle that's not at the front of the field. We'll be able to annoy you in new and fresh ways week after week. Let's give you the lineup for the Strickland 602 Crate Sprints DJD Graphics Heats. Race number 1, great to see him back after a rough ride last week in the 14 from Thamesford. It's Larry Gledhill. Alongside him from St. George, the 69K is Ken Hamilton. Third from London, the 7 is Caleb Wood. And fourth out of Simcoe, the 14B is Broden Weiler. Fifth in the number 2 out of Baden, it's Travis Hofstetter. Sixth from Hagersville, the 24K is Kiana Teal. Last week's winner starts 7th from Georgetown. The 2M is Steve Murdoch. 8th from Thorold. The 71 is Brent Bigelow. Rounding out the field from Ohsweken, the 38 is Melissa Miller.
Off they go again. Good to see Larry Gledhill back here tonight after a rough tumble down the back stretch one Friday night ago. He's locked and loaded, ready to go in that Oakwood Transport number 14. He'll lead lap number 1.
I was talking to Larry before the races about that ride down the backstretch. He says, I remember thinking to myself after the first couple of tumbles, that didn't really hurt. He says it was the last one that got his attention.
Saw a few big crashes last week in the Crate Sprint Car Division. Hoping things will settle down a little bit tonight in the feature event. Such a good division. So many good drivers. And that's the thing, it's such close quarter racing that these things are going to happen.
They are so, and Caleb Wood working the outside of Kenny Hamilton. He's been alongside that 69 for about a lap and a half. He'll clear him down the backstretch as we approach the halfway mark of this race.
Good to see Caleb Wood back. As we mentioned 1 week ago, he's been back and forth over the years between the dirt and the asphalt, but good to see him in that number 7. Back again tonight as another of the newcomers, Brent Bigelow, out there in the 71. Great run last Friday night in his first outing.
Absolutely
he raced win, in fact.
Didn't he wind up late at the scales?
I believe so. Nonetheless,
good run.
Late or not, your first time out, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, but I did.
No, hey, rules are rules.
One more time for Larry Gledhill, who's driven away from this one. A great drive. For the Oakwood Transport number 14, Caleb Wood settling into second. Brent Bigelow with a fantastic charge from 8th up to 3rd. Checkered flag in the air for Larry Gledhill. That's the way to come back. Caleb Wood second. Bigelow 3rd. 4th goes to Hofstetter. A nice job as well by Kenny Hamilton hanging on to a top 5 finish in that 69K with Steve Murdoch right behind him. So Steve Murdoch, who had the fastest car on the racetrack last week, settles for a 6th place finish after starting 7th in that heat. Heat race number 2 going to line up like this. On the pole out of Mississauga in the 00, it's the highlight man, Mac DeMann. Second from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. Third from Ancaster, the 16X is Keegan Baker. Fourth from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. Fifth out of Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. And 6th in the 97 from Listowel, it's Sheldon Bender. 7th from Rockwood, the 94, is Ryan Fraser. 8th from Waynefleet, the 85C, is Cam McKinnon. Rounding out the field from Jerseyville, the 53, it's Logan Schwedick.
Beautiful Strickland's pace truck out leading the pack around. Always bring a great-looking piece to be the pace truck here, and we're so thankful for Strickland's and all that they've done over the years. They've been here since the beginning with this division and supported it through and through. So if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, make sure you check out Strickland's in Brantford. There's Rick Scott aboard the pace truck. Man, great-looking wrap. Everyone likes the flat wrap this year.
Oh, it's fantastic. It looks so good on camera. I got to stop doing that. Every time I lean back, one of these times I'm going to go through the back of the tower.
Guys, out here for your Case IH track report, you'll see the cars are going to pace behind us. We've got the Lockhart's buggy here. We're going to make them push down this chunk, and we'll show you what's going on here. As the track gets wider as the night goes on, but tonight it's kind of down in 2 lanes, so we're going to make them all pack it down. And if you look up here, Jack, we got a lot of chunk and a lot of thick stuff, so trying to break that down, push that down, spread that out as much as we can, but the track is hard packed. Going to be a good one tonight, guys.
Got anything you could send to the tower to push down the chunk and the thick stuff up here?
I was waiting for him to say blowing chunks. I was just, come on, do it, do it. What do you want to be when you grow up?
A food connoisseur. Someday.
We all need something to aspire to.
I miss my call.
You've never missed the dinner bell.
Nope.
Couple of former TQ midget racers, McDeman and Rob Neely. They're going to swap lanes inside, outside, outside, inside, side by side, down to turn 3.
Good to have Rob Neely in the qualifying heat tonight. He missed the heat, missed the B last week, somehow still ended up on the starting lineup for the A main, and he tried his best to stay out there, but they caught it in time. Good to see Rob's under power, though, tonight.
I'll tell you what, Rob Neely has shown some speed. I was watching him practice this year, late in the season last year. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
And this track tonight, a little bit dry, slick out there. This is where he got his best finish last year, that top 3 during our midsummer shows when we were on TSN, and he did a great job there, coming out with a podium finish, and he's showing some speed again with the most winningest driver right behind a McDeman in that 00.
Great battle for the 4th spot as well. Ashton Van Every has the position in the 77. Ryan Fraser looking for it. Fraser going to poke a nose to the inside down the front straightaway.
Keegan Baker right now riding in the 3rd spot right in front of these two, Ashton Van Every and Ryan Fraser. And I'm impressed by Keegan Baker, really coming on strong here and proving to be one of those drivers we're going to see up in the top 10 all the time.
Keegan Baker tied with Tyler Willard last week for the Hard Charger Award in the feature. Willard finished better than Baker, so he got the award. But Keegan Baker passed more cars in the feature than anybody.
Ashton Van Every driving that beautiful UCA number 77. Staying ahead of Fraser for the moment, but feeling lots of pressures. Now Sheldon Bender's into the mix as well. There's the leader.
One more lap to go as Bender gets in there to the inside of Ryan Fraser. Fraser up high, and this all happening right behind Ashton Van Every. But winning this heat race is going to be Rob Neely. McDeman comes home 2nd, 3rd to Keegan Baker. Then it's Van Every, Fraser, Bender, McKinnon, Young, and Schwedick. So welcome back, Rob Neely, after problems last week. Boy, Larry Gledhill had a problem, won his heat. Rob Neely had a problem, won his heat. Who had a problem in heat number 3 from last week?
Just Johnny Miller.
Yeah, good call. Jonah Mutton, Jeremy Miller.
May.
Yeah, that's right. He was involved in that mix-up in turn number 1 as well. Let's give you the starting lineup for heat race number 3. On the pole from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Starting 2nd from Hagersville, the 11W is Jeremy May. Third from St. Catharines, the 777A is Tyler Willard. Fourth in the 24A from Stony Creek, it's A.J. Lewis. Fifth from Harrisburg, the 14W is Greg Wilson. Sixth from Kitchener, the 50LS is Adrian Staley. Starting seventh in the 20 out of Six Nations, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller. And rolling off eighth from Brighton, the 98 is Jonah Mutton. Rounding out the field from Port Colborne, the 777T is Cameron Ohm. Clint?
Guys, got some info. Pits, following a couple stories here. The Nitro 54 guys having some issues. Liam Martin changed the motor during hot laps. They did not make the qualifying heat, did not make any laps in competition tonight. We had 25 cars here tonight. They were going to be stuck on the outside with no B-main and not being ready. Their lucky ticket just came. Derek Jonathan, we saw him brake while leading. He blew out the rear end. He's going home. That opens up the 24th spot for the hard-working Liam Martin's crew who's been trying to get his car going. His teammate Ryan Turner drove past the scales after his qualifying heat race. He's going to start further in the back. And one more quick report I got for you. Johnny Miller and the boys are thrashing on the rear end. They're scheduled to go in this qualifier. They're not going to make it. They'll be lucky to make the back end of the B tonight, guys.
Wow, what a turn of events for a number of drivers. It's a humbling sport. Now, Clinton, talk to us a little bit more. So, by not starting a heat race, even though there would be one additional car entered for tonight's race than what should start the feature, how does that work? Now, we understand Derek Jonathan being done opens a spot for Liam Martin, but how would that have worked if everyone was still running after their heat?
I think there's two options there, and it's unprecedented. A bit of a gray area. Typically we have enough cars that we would need a B-main, which Liam would have got, but with no B-main at 25, we were stopped there. I talked to Liam right after Derek, and I said, hey, had he not pulled out, we may have been starting a 25th car. We would let you do a start buy-in, which means your first 250 you would win, you would forfeit, but that would get you into the race at the back end and not send that one car home.
Thanks, Clint.
Off we go. Great run last week for the pole sitter in this one. Lance Erskine in that 88 machine. He'll lead them down through 1 and 2 with Jeremy May, who's been very solid in this car in the first 2 weeks, although he did get tangled in that wreck in the feature last week.
Good to see him back on the racetrack out there. That car racing out of Jamie Turner's race shop in Caister Center. Lance Erskine leads the way. Greg Wilson down the inside in the 14. Then A.J. Lewis in that white 24 works the high groove.
Wilson continuing tucked down along the walls. We watch this battle. He's trying to creep up on that 11 of Jeremy May. It's all Lance Erskine out in front for this good 3-car battle. The wily veteran in the mix. Well, I guess you still got to call Greg Wilson a wily veteran as well as A.J. Lewis. They have a number of laps around this track from years gone by.
Tyler Willard and Adrian Staley race side by side. That's a battle for the 5th spot in turn number 1. But a great 3-car battle for second. Jeremy May continues to hold on to that spot, while Lance Erskine is driving away more than half a straightaway the advantage for Lance Erskine.
Good battle back behind this group of 3 as well, as we watch Adrian Staley, Tyler Willard, Jonah Mutton all duking it out back there. But here's Greg Wilson. There's that 3-car battle I was talking about. Tyler Willard's there, Adrian Staley, Jonah Mutton, and Cameron Olm, who just made the move by Mutton.
Great battles all over the racetrack. Not for the lead so much, unless you're Lance Erskine. You think that's just a great run out there, and it is. He is out front by a full straightaway as A.J. Lewis takes over that 2nd spot from Jeremy May.
And the thing 1 week ago in the feature that got Lance Erskine on the podium was that for most of that race, he really wasn't anywhere near the front, and in the late restarts, he found something and started hauling the mail. He's definitely found it again here tonight.
A little bit of confidence as well goes a long way as Lance Erskine going to come under the checkered flag of Carter Long. He'll win this one by a long shot. The battle for second rages on. A.J. Lewis going to take that spot over Greg Wilson. Then it'll be Jeremy May, Adrian Staley, Tyler Willard, Jonah Mutton, and Cameron Ohm.
Just a quick report on Tyler Willard. We spoke last week about the High Soon folks that came out as their guests. I got a message today from Kevin Knapp who sent me their screenshot, and they were asking how much it was to get back in. Kevin told them, and then he said, well, there's always YouTube, and he said, no way in hell. After what we saw last week, are we going to watch it? We got to get there. So I want to welcome them back here, and we made some new fans last week, which is always good.
That is always good. Great to see fresh faces. Heat race number 4, also brought to you by DJD Graphics, and here's how they'll line up. On the pole from Wainfleet, the BS39 is Brett Stratford. Second from Cortland, the 5 is Tom Pellizzari. Starting third in the 28T from Ohsweken, it's Cameron Thompson, and starting fourth from St. Thomas, the 52 is Jesse Costa. Fifth in the 72 from Wainfleet is Tanner Podwinski. Sixth from Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanakoke. Seventh from St. Catharines, the 2S is Al Slate. Eighth out of Beamsville, the 27 is Nico Hansen. And rounding out the field from Hagersville, the 3 is Devin Bacher. Al Slate, another one who suffered some significant damage last week. Great to see they made the repairs to get back out this Friday night.
Not so fortunate, Tyler Ward not back with us here tonight. That was a hard ride he took.
Yeah, you hate to see that for anybody.
And really for Tyler Ward too, that's a driver that we've documented well, that he's on his way towards competing top 5. And when you can't come out, you lose that momentum, but not that experience that you were gaining as well. You know, that seat time's so critical. Does you no good sitting out weeks. So hate to see it for Tyler Ward when he's been making such great progress.
Good to see Al Slate back too, guys. He had a lot of damage up in turn 1 and 2. I wasn't sure if that 2S would make it back, but he's back with us as well.
Yeah, they showed some pictures on social media this week of some of the damage incurred. Some nights at the races go like that.
Brett Stratford had all sorts of speed 1 week ago, back in his own equipment. And here he is again, starting on the pole, runner-up.
Man, Jesse Costa carved that 52 to the inside, and then it did some evil things on him. He was able to hang on to that second spot, but it did not look comfortable through 1 and 2.
The 3-car battle back there. Pellizzari leading the way over Podwinski, Thompson. Here's Al Slate now into the mix. They'll go 3 wide off the second corner. Whoa.
Yellow flag is out. Devin Bacher around in turn number 2. So again, let's talk about what came up in the drivers' meeting. And sometimes rules are more than rules and procedures are more than procedures. As soon as a car spins, particularly the sprint cars, they're going to go yellow. That seemed to be what the drivers wanted. They're going to try that out. The trouble is twofold. When they try to do a 360 and keep going, you never know which direction they're going to come out, and you can have further collisions. But what they're trying to do is develop the habit to do just what Devin Bacher did. Lock the car down and come to a stop. It's easier for everyone else on the racetrack to avoid a car that's stopped than one who's got their foot to the floor spinning in circles.
Bacher puts us under the caution flag. Brought by Dixieland Grill.
Yeah, we got to welcome Dixieland Grill here. I was trying to butter up our salesperson, Mike Morris, to see if the owner of Dixieland Grill would demonstrate a suplex on Clinton Jeffrey. I'm not going to give up that fight.
Save it for next week when we put it on the big screen.
That'd be fabulous. Single file, the restarts in the crate sprint division. It's going to be Brett Stratford in the 39, Jesse Costa in the 52, Tom Pellizzari in the 5, Cam Thompson in the 28, Tanner Podwinski in the 72, Brian Nanakoke in the 9, Al Slate in the 2, Nico Hansen in the 27, and the 3 of Devin Bacher. 1 lap in the books.
They come to life through the Cargo Ease restart zone. Stratford and Costa heading down through corners 1 and 2. Costa's got it all wound up on the outside line of that D&O towing, number 52.
He'll look to the inside of Stratford in 3 and 4. You could see him roll out of the throttle just a little bit, but Stratford able to roll the center a little bit quicker. Where Costa's making up his ground is on the high side in 1 and 2.
Another 3-car fight right behind the top two as Podwinski squeaks by in the bottom of Pellizzari. Thompson working the outside of him as we watch the leaders go down into 1. Here's this battle, Thompson and Pellizzari.
You could almost see Cam Thompson wondering if he wanted to wedge that car to the outside of the 5 last time out of turn number 2. He thought better of it, made the pass in 3 and 4, and now Cam Thompson up to that 4th spot.
Halfway home in this final qualifying heat of the night as Stratford really kicked it wide off of corner number 2. That allows Costa to close the gap.
Brett Stratford just so fast in that brand new home-built creation. But Jesse Costa, one of the best we've ever had in the crate sprint division, again, gets a good run out of turn number 2. Can he carry it through 3 and 4?
2 laps left to go for leader Brett Stratford. Costa closing the gap every lap. Will he have enough time? Oh, he's got a great run through 2 that time. Stratford's really been struggling off the corner in 2.
Stratford to the inside, Costa to the outside. 1 more lap to go as they battle down the front straightaway.
See if Costa can gain the ground this time.
He'll get a great run off of turn number 2. He'll look to the inside, now to the outside in 3 and 4.
Coming to the checkered flag, Stratford goes up. Costa, though, caution, flag is out. Slate goes around in corner number 1, so we'll have a restart.
And Slate just about spun out in 3 and 4. I don't know if something might have gone wrong on that 2 machine. Safety crew is on the scene. The wheels look to be pointed the right direction. I shouldn't say the right direction, but they both look to be pointed the same direction.
Same direction, yeah.
See if he's able to straighten those out, or if perhaps something. No, it looks like something's broken the steering, and he's going to get the hook.
So a frustrating week 1 turns into a frustrating week 2 now for Al Slate and the 2S. As you see Jack and Clint down there on the scene. Maybe Clint can get a better look at what's going. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, classic. The inside wall strikes again, guys, and you can tell by the rim folded up. That's what took Slade out here. Not sure if he got pushed down or got help on his own, but here it is right here.
Man, that's tough. The front end damage is what he suffered last week as well.
Yeah, the good thing about this, that should just be a rim. And that's the beauty of these aluminum rims, guys. They take that licking and doesn't look. Now, the axle looks okay. What I got concerned with is the radius rods here. You got some bent up bars in here, but most of the stuff should be fixable, I would think. Jack, come on down here if you can for a second. Look at these bars here. So here's your drag link, that's your steering bar, and your lower radius rod is bent up here. So that's the issue for Slate.
And those bars should be straight.
Yeah, and those are quick fixes. You know, that's the type of 2-minute work area stuff that can be done. So I don't see any major work needing to the Slate 2, other than probably a pat on the back because he's had a rough couple weeks.
Well, at that point, Clint, it's a matter of having enough spare parts. You know, if you've used your spares to repair what you did last week, but someone in the pits will always have something.
Well, that's the beauty, I think, of being a GSR customer. He's got lots of options and lots of quasi-teammates that can help him get those pieces. And they're not major parts like a rear end. You know, it's a $20, $30 piece. Those are easy to come by.
So if I'm not mistaken, this will be a green-white checker in a 9-lap qualifying heat.
Brett Stratford leads him down, but let's see what Jesse Costa can do. He's been better in corner 2 every lap. As they work down into corner 3, this time by, we'll see the white flag for Brett Stratford.
Jesse Costa going to try to get that run once again. He's able to enter 1 and 2 with a bigger head of steam, much better than he did on the first lap of the restart.
Here he comes down low, but there isn't enough room. Stratford comes off of corner 4. He'll pick up the heat race win. Costa will finish in the 2nd spot over Tanner Podwinski. Then it was Pellizzari in the 4th position. Nanico 5th. Thompson 6th, 7th, Nico Hansen 8th is Devin Bacher, and 9th will go to Al Slate. So all of our qualifying heats are concluded. B mains still to come. Looks like the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks are on deck, ready to go with their last chance qualifier. 13 cars scheduled to go. 8 spots on the line as they begin to work their way out of the pit area. That's folks asking on the YouTube feed, on the live stream. Will the features be live as well? Yes, every week. Free and live here on GeForce TV. Follow us along as we get ready here for the B main. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole out of Burlington, the 76, Sean Taylor. To the outside from the 66X out of Beachville, Martin Schroeder. Going off third from Stratford, the 54 is Christopher French. Doug Erskine from Brantford in the 64E will start in the 4th position. 5th goes to Graydon Lyons from Cambridge in the 32L. On his outside, Nathan Joyner from Smithville in the 20J. Starting in 7th out of Troy in the 7, it's Matt Young. Going off 8th out of Caledonia, the Pinball, Mike Iverson aboard car 11. Going from the 9th spot in the 38C is John Cote. Steve Miller from Paris in the 79 goes 10th. 11th is Crystal Souls out of Hamilton, the 81D. 12th, Joey Wilcox from Brantford in the 15, and Blair Russell out of St. Catharines, the 17R, starts 13th. 8 cars transfer to the A main.
Green is out on this B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Looks like Joey Wilcox didn't make the call for this one in the 15.
I believe Mike Evers is here tonight either, is he?
Mike Evers suffered a back injury racing go-karts in Texas.
Okay, that was not what I was expecting you to say.
Right? I'll take things I wasn't expecting for 300, Alex.
Well, we hope you get better there, Mike. As Schroeder leads him down the backstretch with Taylor in the 2nd position. French holding down 3rd. And the top 8 have broken away. There's a gap back to Roussel in the 17. That'd be the first car done for the night if things were to end right now.
Roussel, Giberson, Miller, and Sewells all on the outside looking in as Matt Young gets all sorts of squirrely in that 7. That's going to allow Roussel to close in. Roussel to the inside.
This time by will be halfway home for Schroeder. Martin Schroeder at a Beachville in the 66X. And good to see Martin back on a regular basis. Of course, he and the Jansons were here for many years, and then we didn't see him for a bit, but Martin Schroeder's been more regular lately.
Flat right front tire for Matt Young in that 7 machine, so another tough week for Young.
2 laps left to go. Final chance to get into tonight's main event for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. It's all Schroeder and Taylor.
Look at Giberson closing in on Roussel for that last transfer. He'll drive to the inside down into 3 and 4.
One more time around. Giberson inches ahead of Roussel as Giberson has the spot with 1 lap left to go. It's only a couple of corners left for Martin Schroeder, and he can see the checkered flag.
Schroeder coming out of turn number 4. Checkers in the air. He'll take the win. Sean Taylor going to cruise home to 2nd. Graydon Lyons up to 3rd over Christopher French. And then it's Erskine, Nathan Joyner, John Cote, and Mike Giberson getting the final transfer spot. He will start 28th in tonight's feature.
So we do still have a B main to come for the crate sprints, but that will come after our intermission, which will take place right now. So we'll take a break here on GeForce TV.
So my parents were blessed with 4 daughters, and we were all my dad's #1 farm hand. And I can't really think of any of those chores that didn't involve a red tractor. One of the more special ones on the farm was a 1954 Farmall Super MTA that my great-grandfather actually bought brand new. That's still on the farm today, 4 generations later. My dad really liked that Super MTA. They only made them in 1954, so he actually picked up a second one in the late 80s. Since my dad's passing, my sisters and I coordinate Jim's annual tractor ride. We hold it every Labor Day weekend, and we just spend the afternoon driving around the countryside with, of course, my dad's Super MTA leading the way. It means a lot. And so the fact that we have my dad's MTA and that we're still, keeping it and using it every year, multiple occasions, is really special. We sure wish he was here with us, but we feel him every day. My name is Holly, and I grew up with a Farmall Super MTA.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Back here at Ohsweken Speedway as Freshstone presents Friday Night Excitement, intermission time, and we've got our Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winners trackside with Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, Dylan, you were close on. You and Josh Hansen were close. You had him by 3 passing points coming in this. What a dominant night you had last week to start the season. What's going to be different tonight, D-Dubs?
Track looks like it has a little bit more grip than last week, so should be pretty good there. And hopefully you draw a good starting spot here. Track's a little bit narrower, so it might be a little bit harder to pass. So get a good draw here and hopefully start on the front row.
All right, you right here. Jeff Durnan's bringing me my draw stuff. We'll be right back to you. You hang tight there, and we're going to get over here and talk to Brent Bigelow. But instead, I'm going to talk to this guy. Hey, happy birthday, Dale. How you doing, buddy? Our track photographer, Dale. I know he doesn't want to be on camera, but happy birthday, buddy. We appreciate all you do.
How's everybody out there tonight? Having a good time?
We're having a great time. Having a happy birthday for Dale, hardest working guy we got here. Another hard working guy, Brent Bigelow. Step right here for me, Brent, just so we don't have that screen in the background. Brent, newcomer here to the sprint car stuff. You know, he had a solid run last night. Last week had a bit of an issue at the scales. Still ran good. Team left positive. How do you feel tonight?
Car's really good. We got that all sorted out, which is good. And, they're just used to Mikey being in the car, and I'm a lot lighter. So we sorted all that out, and I knew they would. But, the boys have been working hard ever since I got in the car. I've been super comfortable. They've worked with me, and just thank the Bowman family for the opportunity and all the sponsors that come on board, Seaway Fluid Power, Dynablast, Canaflex, Contemporary Concrete Solutions, Santa Mon Auto and Truck. Just couldn't do it with them, and hopefully give them a good run here in the feature.
All right, there you have it, Brent Bigelow. He's going to start up front here tonight and go for it from the crate feature. Brent, you can head back. We're going to bring Dylan Westbrook back over here. We'll do our draw. 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 will be the invert for the 360 sprints tonight based on their times. So based on their times in hot laps, the top 8 drivers get their times back, and we'll now do an invert. Reach in there, pull one out, Dylan. Show it to the camera, whatever you get. That'll be the invert number for tonight. And the invert number is 6. 6 is the invert here, so we'll invert the top 6 times after hot laps from the passing points drivers. That's all from Slack Victory Lane, guys. We'll set it up to you. We're almost ready to go features.
Have a look at some of the events coming up here on G-Force TV in the near future here at Ohsweken Speedway. Next Friday night, Braemar Buildings and Plastic Auto Recycler presents Touch a Truck and Tractor Night. So bring the kids out and get a chance to get up close to some of those heavy-duty trucks and tractors next Friday night. We'll have that right here on G-Force TV as always. In a couple of weeks' time, Renway Energy and McHugh Supply presents the Race of Champions Sportsman. And then on the 21st, we're going to have the Late Model Open. And, of course, at the end of the month, close to the end of the month, on June 21st, it's Agriculture Night Brought to you by Case IH and O'Neill Farm and Lawn Equipment. So check out those upcoming events here every Friday night, 7:30. We'd love to have you here live in person. If you can't make it, GeForce TV. Coming up on Racing America TV for the APC Series, and it's all produced by GeForce, starting on June 8th next Saturday over at Flamborough Speedway, the Spectre Premium 100 for the APC Series, round number 2 of the season. Round 3 then is the following week on June the 15th from Peterborough Speedway. That tight bull ring, always exciting action down to the other side of Toronto. On June 29th, Delaware Speedway, the fast half mile on Canada Day weekend for the APC Series, and then back July 12th at Flamborough Speedway, the London Recreational 100. Catch the APC Series on RacingAmerica.tv. Well, we've got just a few more moments left here in our intermission before our last B main of the night, and then we'll head to features. We'll catch that when we return here on GeForce TV.
Your mom got a new tractor? Yep. Can she see in the dark? Can do. Hook up all the implements? Can do. Steer with ease? Can do. Bale hay all day? Can do. Shift like a race car? Can do. Keep a juice box cold? Can do. I'm out of here.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on GeForce TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
It all started for us at the racetrack, from dirt to water. We have continued to keep the adrenaline and drive to make sure that we are always in the forefront. We are driven to give our customers the absolute best in service, products, and memories with your families. No matter what your passion is, whether it's on the water, in the dirt, on the snow, or on the road, we will always be here welcoming you over and over again through the doors here at Lockhart's. You're not just a customer here, you are part of our team.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway, Fresh Stone presents Friday Night Excitement. And still a little bit of a break here on intermission, so we're going to do some rapid fire.
Yeah, Glenn Stiers. It's got to be my dad. I'm number one guy in the pits, always giving me advice, grew up watching him.
I was always an Earnhardt fan growing up, and guys like Richie Evans.
Tony Stewart.
I have many. So in the past was Tony Stewart. The future is Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson, definitely somebody I look up to.
My dad, and there's a lot, but like Dan Gurney's one of them.
Probably my dad. Racing back in the 90s, he's a guy I look up to a lot.
I'm a big Jeff Gordon fan, and sprint car-wise, I like to watch what David Gravel's up to.
Probably Mario Andretti, just because he could do it anytime, anywhere.
I would say Glenn Stiers for sure.
Some of our drivers sharing who their racing idols are or were over the years. Mine is just making his way up the stairs back to the tower. He had to take his dog for a walk. So, Adam Ross, you're my racing idol. I set the bar really low, though, so don't feel too special. The drone is following you, by the way, Adam. You're about to get a haircut. That's a stunning shot. There's Brent. There's the guy that stiffed me of Burger King tonight. Hey, Brent. Get him off camera, would you? There we go. Do you like this? These wires all do something here. We're not sure what they are, but that's kind of what your mind looks like on the inside right there, Adam.
I'll tell you what that cable's about to do.
Oh, go around my neck.
That was some riveting play-by-play, Calvin.
And race cars are back on the track.
Well, I believe that.
You're out of breath, so did you want me to do this for you?
No, because you'd probably complain about it forever and ever.
Well, that's true. That's what I do best.
That race already happened.
I don't have the lineup anyway. You're on your own, bud.
I could use a lineup, but
Where are we here? I've got it on my phone. B feature. Here we go. B main for the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprints on the pole is Nico Hansen out of Beamsville. Steve Murdoch in the 2M on the outside. Last week's winner in the B main. How about that? Devin Bacher will start in the 3rd spot in car number 3. Sheldon Bender will start in the 4th position aboard car number 97. Cam McKinnon will roll off in 5th in the 85C with Jonah Mutton in the 98 going from the 6th spot. Tyler Willard in the 777 will go from the 7th spot. Broden Weiler in the 14B starting in the 8th spot. There's Clinton Jeffrey enjoying his fries and gravy, and guess what he's drinking? A Pepsi. What a surprise. Cameron Olm and Al Slate make up row number 5 in the 7017, the 2S. We'll see if Al Slate, is he out there? Yes, he is. They've got that car repaired and ready to go. Kiana Teal in the 11th starting spot in the 24K. Trevor Young in the 51 starts in 12. Melissa Miller starting 13th in the 38 with Logan Schwedick going 14th in the 53. Tanner Podwinski in the 72 will start 15th. And Johnny Miller, if he can make the call, I do see him out there. Starts 16th. Top 8 will transfer into tonight's A main event.
Half of the cars on the racetrack will not get to play in tonight's A main. That's how tough it is to qualify here at Ohsweken. Problem for Johnny Miller. Did not make the call for his qualifying heat, so he was going to have to start to the back anyhow. By virtue of needing a second push, he guarantees himself a starting spot at the back of the field.
Again, we want to thank Six Nations Bingo, Bradshaw Brothers, AECON-SIX Nations, and Lone Wolf Fireworks, tonight's event sponsors.
Johnny Miller's going to have a drive in front of him. He's got to race his way up into the top 8. But there's a driver who's really becoming a veteran of the crate sprint car division, a solid runner, and I don't think he's going to take the green.
No, I was just going to say, Adam, all the track reports coming from around the Speedway are saying that 20 does not sound good. He has gone to the pits. That'll be the end of the night for Johnny Miller. Tough break for them. The crew thrashed since hot laps, pretty much.
White flag is out. Next time by, we'll get on it here in this last chance qualifier. No provisionals in any division. So as good as you were last week, that means nothing tonight. And the winner's on the outside of the front row here in this B main. He's got to work his way in.
"12 laps the distance, lots of time to get up into the top 8, but you've got to have the speed, you've got to be up on the wheel." Green flag about to fly from Carter Long. We're underway with the crate sprint B main.
Who will be the final 8 to transfer into tonight's A main event? It's fast and furious just around that 5th position. Look at Tyler Willard, shot out of a cannon down into corner number 3.
Great move for Willard. Didn't pay off, but it got him some track position. Get away from that 8th spot. That's the goal. Whoever finishes 8th
Wow.
Cameron Ohm in the 777.
That was fixing to be a lot uglier.
Al Slate in the 2. Jonah Mutton in the 98 was involved in that. And folks, this is the time when starting next week, it's going to be pretty exciting to have the replay capability, because there was a lot going on in that situation.
Everything that could have happened didn't, thankfully.
You're absolutely right there. All the cars stayed on there.
And Nico Hansen came off a corner too, and that car did slow. He lost power or something happened. And that bottlenecked things up. So Nico's gone to the pit area. Jonah Mutton's got nose wing damage now as he caught part of Al Slate there and sent him into the infield.
How Al Slate didn't tumble down the backstretch is beyond me. How that right rear didn't go flat. Tanner Podwinski doing a great job out there.
Cameron Olm went around at a 360, but I think the car's okay. Yeah, he's still on the track, so he did a good job of keeping that car under control as well. Even though it got spun around, he kept it off the wall, didn't get upside down.
Challenge here with 1 lap complete. Single file restart's going to make their job very difficult coming from the back, Clint.
Yeah, for sure, guys. We made a change last week, and we took 6 out of each, which only took 4 out of the B. We went back to the traditional 20 cars qualified out of the heat. So that's going to make 8 cars have a shot in this one. The feeling was they could settle down a bit. You only got to make it to 8. You don't have to drive over everybody to get up to 4th. So we'll see how that plays out here.
Logan Schwedick right now in that beautiful number 53 holds down the 8th spot.
Back we go through the Cargo Ease restart zone. It's Sheldon Bender, Steve Murdoch, Cam McKinnon right now the top 3. 11 laps left to settle this. Still some movers and shakers. Logan Schwedick with a nice move. We're 3 wide behind him.
And Sheldon Bender out in front, pulling away from Cam McKinnon and Steve Murdoch. Tyler Willard up into the 4th spot. Podwinski rounds out the top 5.
Al Slate trying to work his way through the field. He's deep right now and having all sorts of struggles. He'll work to the outside of Kiana Teal, just keeping an eye on him as he tries to make his march towards the front.
He's going to cross over Kiana Teal off of turn number 4, clear that driver. Now set his sights on Devin Bacher. All these passes are fine and good for Al Slate, but they still don't put him into the top 8.
He's got to get past Logan Schwedick. That's the final transfer spot right now. And that 53, and that's the car directly in front of Al Slate. As we see Schwedick and Young. Young right now is that 7th place driver. There you see that bright green lettering on the car behind Schwedick. Here he is.
4-car battle back here. As Schwedick slides up the racetrack, Slate goes through, and as I say that, Trevor Young and Broden Weiler pull away from that duo. So right now, Al Slate all by himself in that 8th spot. Logan Schwedick now having to give chase.
How about Cam McKinnon? Steve Murdoch just got back by him, but McKinnon did a nice job, got by last week's winner, was running in the 2nd spot for a time. Cam, we get to see him a lot here. He races very frequently down at Brockville with their crate sprint car division as well, gaining a lot of experience, and he's running well right now in that 3rd spot.
Al Slate just picked up a couple of spots. He went around Weiler, he went around Trevor Young. Logan Schwedick still about 6-8 car lengths off the back end of Broden Weiler in the 14th. That is the transfer spot.
Bit of a struggle tonight for Melissa Miller, who was so good 1 week ago, the leader, about to go by the 38.
Logan Schwedick to the inside of Broden Weiler as the leader works through slower traffic on the backstretch. Sheldon Bender to the high side of Melissa Miller. It'll be 2 laps to go this time for Bender.
Bender, another one of those drivers becoming more and more consistent, not having the issues that he had learning, and now really putting down solid, consistent laps.
Oh, trouble in turn number 2. McKinnon goes around, collects Podwinski.
That will put us under the Dixieland Grill caution flag.
All right, under last week's rules, arguably McKinnon would take his spot right where he is behind Al Slate, but ahead of Trevor Young. What I believe changed this week is as soon as a driver goes around, they are going to go yellow. Tanner Podwinski is not happy at all, an innocent bystander of that one. But I believe we will see McKinnon go to the back of the field. Clinton Jeffrey on the scene. Let's have a look here from our speed shot, and you see Cam McKinnon just lost it running the middle of turn number 2. Podwinski spun out to avoid. And I'm not sure why Podwinski is unsuited. I think Clinton's telling him the same thing right now. The car looks all right, but I think
Tanner just had enough. We said the car, I don't see anything wrong with it. The car looks mint, guys, but Tanner said, nah, I'm good. So he'll park the 72, and that'll be all it is tonight for this car.
Well, opportunity just knocked. Now he's getting back into it now. Is he having second thoughts, Clint?
No, he says he's done. They're going to push him back to the pits, guys.
All right. So the top 8 as they run: Sheldon Bender, Steve Murdoch, Tyler Willard. Ugh. I've almost not argued with calls anymore. Cam McKinnon, based on the new rule that happened at the drivers' meeting, should go to the back of this field. But we will see.
Just waiting for Podwinski to get to the pit area, and then we'll be able to get this B main back underway with 2 laps left to settle it.
And it's very much a that's a big position. Cam McKinnon running in the 3rd spot on the racetrack right now. If he went to the back, he'd have to pass 4 cars to get back up to a transfer. White flag going to come out from Carter Long. Will set them loose. No, the white flag is out. We're going green.
Yeah, Dave Hunsinger said, nope, we're going green this time by. Track's clear, and here comes Steve Murdoch. Down to the inside of Bender. Bender inches ahead down the back stretch, and they're 3 wide for a moment behind that.
Yeah, Cam McKinnon dropping back through the field as the white flag flies one more time around.
Still looking for the top 8 here to see who will transfer into the main event. It's been all Sheldon Bender out in front. He'll work it through 3 and off of corner 4 for the final time. Checkers out. Bender wins the B main.
Murdoch come home 2nd, Slate 3rd, Willard 4th, McKinnon 5th, Young 6th, and it's Weiler, Schwedick, and Devin Bacher takes the final transfer spot.
Great recovery for Slate, guys. He came out in 13th or 14th, drove it up to 3rd, and will make his way into the feature tonight. I thought he was having a 2nd or 3rd round of bad luck here when he spun out in the infield, but he'll make it in.
Yeah, great drive. Fun to watch. My sheets are all out of order, Greg. Did you sabotage my...
I did nothing.
On that, I believe. I'll do the mini stock starting lineup for this feature event. The HRW Automotive mini stocks. 33 cars entered tonight. We've whittled it down to 28. Here's how they'll line up for their 15-lap feature event. On the pole from Guelph in the number 1, it's Jason Tolton. 2nd from Niagara Falls, the 5K, is Ken Hare. 3rd in the 32 from Dundas is Jillian Hills. 4th out of St. Anne's, the 34, is Randy Alway. 5th in the 2 from Hamilton, it's Matt Newell. 6th from Brantford, the 64, is Nick Erskine. 7th in the 11J out of Linden, it's Jeff Elsliger. 8th from Smithville, the 6X, is Mike Sarantakos. 9th in the 17 from St. Catharines, it's Alex Riley. And rounding out the top 10 from Waterford, the 46, is Wade Thorne. Starting 11th from Hamilton, the 04, is Rogan Monahan. 12th from York, the 9, is Tim DeBoer. 13th in the 16 out of Ancaster, it's Fabio Oliveri. 14th from St. Catharines, the 4A, is Mason Anderson. 15th from Port Colborne, the 14L, is John Lubeck. 16th in the 44, also from Port Colborne, is Craig Vlasic. 17th in the 20A out of Chatham, it's Aiden Maynard, and 18th from Waterdown, the 0-1 is Tristan De Silva. 19th in the 23 from Hagersville, it's Dusty DeBoer. 20th from Hamilton, the X car is Jeremy Cooper. 21st from Beachville, the 66X is Martin Schroeder. 22nd from Burlington, the 76 is Sean Taylor. 23rd from Cambridge, the 32L is Graydon Lyons. 24th in the 54 from Stratford is Christopher French. 25th out of Brantford, the 64E is Doug Erskine. 26th from Smithville, the 20J is Nathan Joyner. 27th in the 38C is John Cote. And rounding out the field from Caledonia in the 11, it's the pinball, Mike Giberson.
Missing band formation once again for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks in memory of Bone Longboat and Art Hill.
Let's have a look at our ones to watch for here tonight. The 17 of Alex Riley scored the victory last week. He has always been fast, Greg, every time he shows up. So that's our Lockhart's Odyssey ones to watch for this mini stock feature event.
He wasn't a regular a year ago, but it seemed like every time he came, he won. Or he was at least on the podium. So again, Alex Riley back with that Niagara Ice Dogs. Big Country Rod number 17. We expect him to be one to watch here. Starting in the 9th spot, Strickland GMC Pace Truck pulls off on the backstretch. First feature of the night, ready to go. Carter Long has the green flags in hand, ready to turn them loose. 15 laps for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
Ken Hare pinching down on the poles that are Tolton. Jillian Hills all the way to the inside in that 32.
Oh, Monahan into DeBoer. Graydon Lyons into Monahan. That'll put us under the caution flag. So the Dixieland Grill caution flag comes out quick. We didn't get a lap in under that drop of the green flag. As Monahan and DeBoer had contact, Tim DeBoer in the 9. Monahan went around, and then Graydon Lyons basically just had nowhere to go and comes to a stop.
A little bit of contact, but nothing sinister. As we look at the Hallner Plumbing, number 04 of Rogan Monahan. Recently graduated high school. I saw the pictures with his parents.
Saw this in the chat. Thought this was cool, Adam. We should mention this. And Ohsweken Speedway fan Bill Calder rang the bell this week after 5 months of cancer therapy and surgery. So that's great news, Bill.
Awesome.
We're glad to hear.
Awesome.
Too often we hear the bad stories, so got to celebrate the good ones. Someone's sounding rough down there.
Yeah, that is not a healthy sounding four-cylinder car. I really appreciate you commenting on my level of fitness as the drone followed me up the stairs. I'm now getting messages, Greg. I love that for me. People think you're so nice.
I'm not.
It's a ruse.
Here for you, buddy.
That should be our slogan.
Back to the Cargo Ease restart zone, a complete restart.
Friday night excitement. Off of turn number 2, 3 wide, 2 rows deep, and out in front, Kenny Hare leading the way in the 5 machine. Here comes Jillian Hills.
Jillian Hills finished third 1 week ago. That car has got a ton of power and handling, and right now 3 wide for the lead. Hare in the middle. Oh, they're going to make it 4 wide possibly here. Can Alway get up there? Yeah, they're going to go 4 wide down the back stretch for the top spot.
Jeff Elslinger down low, Alway up high, but out in front, girl power, it's Jillian Hills leading the way.
Cross the line another time. Good, clean racing. Of course, last week, the feature event saw a lot of attrition, and I thought maybe that's how things were going to go here in this one, but so far, things clearing out after that first lap incident. They're 3 wide back there for that 4th position. Nick Erskine right in the middle of that.
You know, as much as we can't, well, we are race fans, but you can't cheer for somebody. How nice would it be to see Nick Erskine have a great run in that 64? I mean,
you could feel it last year that he was getting close to competing for feature wins until that flip, and then that just, he was back with a backup car, but he was never the same after that. So good to see that 64 running up here in the front again.
And talking to people who work with him, they say he is just all energy all the time. Running in that 5th spot. Everyone trying to chase down the 11 of Jeff Elslinger here in the early going. 4 laps complete in this mini stock feature.
Rogan Monahan leaves the pit area and rejoins the field, so he'll be a few laps down now. As right out in front, had a rough week 1 week ago. Jeff Elslinger came in as one of the favorites and didn't get to start the feature event. Now he's leading it. Now we've got, a heavy hit for Tim DeBoer in the backstretch. That car is crumpled up.
Oh, man.
Well, he's putting the window net down, so that's a good sign, but that's a hard hit. Yeah, he is definitely going to need a tow. That right front is crumpled on the Mert Timson Auto number 9.
Our race med team right on the spot to check on the driver. Clinton Jeffrey, I think he was still eating French fries. Like, that's the longest I've seen Clinton Jeffrey to take. Now, he said, don't go easy on me tonight. I don't need your nonsense. Well, you got no nonsense for most of the night, Clinton, but you couldn't get away with it for too long.
No, and neither could Mr. DeBoer here. Tim DeBoer, all kinds of problems. You see it bleeding out the front as all the fluids come down, and it is pushed back quite a bit here. And they're going to try and unpeel this hood, but I think that is not going to be
That's a flatbed.
Very doable. Yeah, they're looking at trying to figure this one out. So I think they can just grab something to hook it on here. Here we go. And wow, look at this, guys.
Well, we just saw the replay, Clinton, on G-Force, and that car, we'll have to have another look to see what caused it to absolutely turn hard right and at least a 45-degree angle into the wall. Let's look deep. Man, he just lost it, and it snapped back hard to the right. I assumed he would have got hooked by somebody to turn that sharp, but Greg, it looked to me like a one-car.
Yeah, he was by himself. He was headed towards the infield, and when it corrected, man, it snapped to the right. Look at the damage.
I don't know if that car can see a racetrack again.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
Mike Miller got yours on.
Wow. I'm no mechanic, but that looks broke.
Thank you for that astute observation, Greg. Follow me for more intelligence.
Man, I'm just glad Tim walked away because that's a hard hit right there.
Yeah, that's
like you can see. There's not much to absorb energy there in the front of the car. And after what we saw with Dusty last year, and he missed part of the year, I'm just glad Tim's moving around and okay, and cars can be replaced. And
Clint, is the right rear tire flat?
On the DeBoer car here?
Yep.
Right rear tire is not flat.
Huh.
I'm trying to think of what could help the car snap that hard back to the right.
No, everything looks good here as far as we walk around. Just want to make a note, Rogan Monahan has been sent to the pit. You must run with a hood here. So if his crew is listening back there, you need a hood on the car. So Rogan Monahan has been sent to the pits to put a hood on. It's a safety thing. They don't want hot fluids and stuff blowing back in the driver's face. As you recall, Mike Thorne had to park last year for the same type of thing.
So the Monahans come from an extensive pavement racing background, Clint, where sometimes if you're overheating, you will remove the hood. But those cars have windshields.
Yeah.
So if fluid does come out of the engine compartment, it can't get to the driver because the windshield keeps it away. Dirt cars all run screens instead of windshields at the front. So that's why there's a difference between pavement race cars and dirt race cars.
I'd like to see that replay again if we could one more time, Spencer, just to watch. Here it is. Thank you. Yeah, he was Man, it's by himself, but it snapped to the right so quickly.
Pretty vicious impact.
As you watch the field coast by, the Bradshaw Fuels Speed Shot, Bradshaw brothers. Proudly serving Six Nations since 1956. 1956 was a good year, wasn't it, Dale Kellnan? I won't tell you how old he is, but I just laid down a hint.
I used up all my fingers and toes, and I wasn't there yet. Doubling up the field, says Dave Hunsinger. They'll be side by side for this restart. Jeff Elslinger choosing the outside lane. That'll put Jillian Hills on the inside in that 32. She'll restart second. Alex Riley back there in the 6th spot in that blue number 17. The reason that matters, he was last week's winner, Greg, and he has just been so lightning fast.
Yeah, anytime he's here, he's one to watch. And as far as I know, it seems like he's going to run for the championship. Of course, Ken Hare was another one that would come sporadically, but he said last week he'll be here every week, and he ended up in the 2nd spot. So even though the champion's not back on a regular basis, we've got some fresh new title contenders.
There's always somebody who rises to the occasion. It just so happens this year there's a few somebodies. Mike Sarantaco's aggressive on the inside on that restart, works himself into the top 10 in that white number 6X. At the front, Jillian Hills giving a run to Elslinger for that top spot. They're going to drag race off of turn number 4. Who's it going to be? Elslinger maintains the lead.
Cars haul the mail at Ohsweken Speedway. Lots of room to hold it wide open. Lots of lanes to pick. And, man, you stand there down by the wall, they go sailing by you. It doesn't look that quick on camera, but they're going fast.
They certainly are. Elslinger continues to lead, but he's just not pulling away from the field. Jillian Hills doing a good job down on the bottom. If Randy Alway up on the high side can put a couple of good corners together, he is going to come rocketing to the front with a head of steam.
He's been steady but not consistent on that outside line, but he's hanging there in the top 5 as we are at the Cross Flags halfway home in this HRW Automotive Mini Stock Feature event.
Caused some inconvenience there for Alex Riley, and the 17 prevented Riley from coming up to the wall as he was making a move on Ken Hare. Here comes Hills up to the driver's door, the Elslinger 11. Elslinger trying to pinch her down the racetrack.
Off a corner 4, it's Elslinger, Hills, Hare. And right behind that is Riley and Nick Erskine still in the thick of this. Has always been shuffled out of the top 5. How about Matt Newell? That newly sheeted door on the number 2 is right there hanging with the leaders.
What a battle. What a feature race for these mini stocks. Elslinger out in front, a car length and a half, and that's the biggest lead he's had since prior to the restart.
We've got some good drivers. Oh, yeah, Jillian Hills and Ken Hare go way up the hill. They're going to lose a ton of track space.
Possible flat right front on the 5 of Ken Hare.
And you see Hare waving his arm as he goes up the track and is going to bring out the caution, I believe, unless he's...
I think he may limp that car around.
Limp it around.
Unfortunate for Jillian Hills. She loses 4 or 5 spots in that melee.
Meanwhile, at the front, Riley's there on the back bumper of Elslinger, and Nick Erskine's right there as well.
Yeah, misfortune for Ken Hare and Jillian Hills is fortune for Nick Erskine, who just about looped it in turn number 1, and that's 64. Alex Riley working the inside of Elslinger, the top 3 right together with a slight gap back to Newell and Alway.
Oh, bad break there for Mason Anderson. Had a great run going. Now he'll have to pull into the pit area. And I was about to say before all that happened, we got some really good drivers buried deep in this pack. Mike Sarantakos, Fabio Oliveri, some regular contenders. And there goes Sarantakos has problems.
Oh, Sarantakos around, driver's side exposed.
Lubeck almost cleaned the nose off of that car. Right rear flat for this 6X of Mike Sirantakos.
That'll be a Mighty Wipes moment of the race. Spin halfway around and watch the whole field barreling down on you.
It's been crowned the Mighty Wipes moment of the night. There you go.
Well, that was a little presumptuous, Spencer and Daniel. There you go. Put an S on that.
Jillian Hills will have some work to do to get back up to the front. Tristan De Silva outside the top 5. And let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, just went flat and boom. Oh, Lubeck just made the right move. And then is that Monahan? Or is it
Christopher French maybe?
Yeah.
There was a few moments there. So we'll double up the field. Elslinger going to lead him back to the green. Is he going to choose inside? Is he going to choose outside? He's going to choose right down the middle.
Nah. 2 laps left. How excited do you think Nick Erskine would be?
Oh, I mean, he's vibrating most of the time. And Newell is always up on the wheel.
Yep.
Tristan De Silva, we pointed out last week, watch for the 0-1. He did not have a good week. Here he is this week running up in the 7th spot. 2-lap shootout to the finish.
Sarantakos gets a fresh tire on the right rear. He'll join the field. He's up there on the high side of 4, so he'll latch on to the back as the green flag comes out. Here we go. 2 laps to settle it.
Door to door down into turn number 1. Riley up high. Elslinger down low. Gets a good run through 1 and 2. And Elslinger's number 11 has been very healthy on the straightaway.
Side by side with Alex Riley and that number 17. Riley edges ahead. White flag from Carter Long. One more trip around. Newell's got a head of steam started.
Newell and Erskine side by side. Riley out in front. They race down the back straightaway. Riley extending that lead to a car length. Here comes Elslinger.
Riley looking to go back-to-back. Double checkers in the air from Carter Long. The win will go to Alex Riley over Elslinger, Newell, Erskine, and Hills.
Nick Erskine just off of the podium. But a great drive. Great race.
Excellent race. All throughout the pack. Good show by the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. And this man, Alex Riley, goes 2 for 2. Nick Erskine last week 6th, this week 4th. So nothing to hang his head about. Finishing 4th. Good start to his 2024 season. We'll send things down in a moment to Slack Lumber Victory Lane as our top 3 get set up on the concrete down there. And Lone Wolf Fireworks, one of tonight's presenters, will light up the sky. Visit them over on Highway 54 for all your fireworks needs. Lone Wolf Fireworks celebrating our top 3 here tonight. Alex Riley gets the window net down. We'll send it down trackside. Clinton Jeffrey will talk with our top 3.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Alex Riley back in Slack Lumber Victory Lane for the second time in 2 weeks. Alex will work his way around front here. Alex, this is a big deal for you to grab this win tonight. Certainly going to help you with your points going in. Wow, 2 for 2. What a way to start your 2024 season.
Yeah, it's been an awesome start. The Niagara Ice Dog 17 car has been unreal so far to start. It was a great battle between Jeff. I don't really know what happened on that last restart there, but it's racing, so we had a great time. Got to thank all my sponsors, all my family, and everyone that helped get me here tonight. Van Sickle Pet Value, my dad, my girlfriend. Thank you, everybody.
Right on, Alex. Give us a second. We got your flag and everything coming your way. Move over here with Jeff Elslinger. Jeff, a solid run, man. You were in that battle to the last restart. Talk us through those last 2 laps and maybe how you might have been able to beat Alex here tonight.
Well, I know he's really fast down low, so I tried, the strategy was to, take his line. So I started low, but backfired. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. I did my best anyways.
Still great drive in second. You got to be pleased here tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Jeff Elslinger, guys, give me a second. We'll get over here with Mr. Newell.
Great rebound tonight for Jeff Elslinger after all the problems he had in the opening 1 week ago. And here's Matt Newell, another guy that had the side of his car all ripped open. Now it's the right side up here, down on the pad.
Yeah, an eventful couple weeks, Matt. Former champion here in 2018. Got to be really happy with this performance. What a rebound here after last week. The two-car man really came on at the end.
Yeah, it was a tough week even last week. My fan wasn't working for the heat. I was overheating. Battled through that. Made it to the feature. Was doing well in the feature. Got a flat tire at the end. It's kind of tough, but tonight makes up for it. I'd like to thank everybody out of Ohsweken, all the officials, all the crew, and Glenn for hosting this place. I'd like to thank my car sponsors, Northern Performance and Gale's Auto Aftermarket.
You got it. How about a hand for your top three here, ladies and gentlemen? Matt Newell will be third, Jeff Fulsiger second, Alex Riley is your winner here tonight, and we'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the next feature event coming up.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Lockhart's Odyssey is BRP's newest marine dealer for the legendary Alumacraft fishing boats, the luxurious Manitous, and the affordable Sea-Doo Switch pontoons. Come aboard our new outdoor showroom, located here in Cortland at Lockhart's Odyssey, your BRP superstore.
My family came over here from Germany, and my grandpa Arnold Lushen bought this 1953 Super M.
This is the first tractor that I actually drove and used on the farm. If somebody said, Mark, I'll give you an 80 acres that's worth $1 million, would you give me that tractor for that 80 acres? No amount of money would buy this tractor.
My grandpa made the comment before that that was the tractor that built Lushen Farms.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway, feature number 2 on the evening. It's for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack merchandising sprint cars. Their starting lineup will look like this. On the pole out of Beamsville in the 88H, it's Josh Hansen. Alongside him from Scotland, the 87X, Sean Evans. Rolling off third from Ohsweken, the 68 is Aaron Turkey, and his outside from Beachville, car number 5, DJ Christie. Starting in the 5th spot from Prairie City, Iowa, car number 1 is Linton Jeffrey. And last week's winner starts in the 6th spot from Scotland, the 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Going from the 7th spot from Bowmanville, the 70mm is Dale Kern. Alongside from Hamilton, the 19D is Alan Downey. Going 9th is the defending champion from Stevensville in the 71, Mike Bowman. 10th from Thamesford, the 7 of Eric Gledhill. Rolling off 11th from Mount Bridges, the 45, Tricky Nick Sheridan. And going from position number 12 from Freelton, the 12 Double D, Darren Dryden. 13th spot is Jamie Turner from Caister Center in car number 11. His outside from Grimsby. Car number 90 is Travis Cunningham. 15th spot in car number 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers, into his outside last week's runner-up out of Tilsonburg, the 17X, Corey Turner. Lining up 17th from Haldeman in the 10C, it's Cole McDonald. And going 18th from Grand Island, New York, the 21K is Kyle Phillips. Rolling off 19th from Dunnville in the 46, it's Kevin Pauls. Starting 20th out of Interkip, the 84 is Mike Lichty. Tyler Palace in the 77T from Ohsweken starts 21st. 22nd, John Burbridge Jr. from St. Williams in the 21. And in the back row, it's Team Nitro 54. Ryan Turner, who missed the scales, starts 23rd. And Liam Martin, making the motor change, starts back in the 24th position. White flag goes out on the Speedway.
Our Lockhart's one to watch for this week, Dylan Westbrook. Took the victory on opening night. Was lightning fast in that 47X. Greg, who can mount a challenge on that 47X of Westbrook? I say there's at least 6 to 8 drivers up to that challenge.
It's a stout field. We'll find out in 25 laps for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Clean start through 1 and 2. Mike Bowman shooting the bottom of the racetrack up into the top 6. Out in front, Josh Hansen going to lead lap number 1 in the 88.
It's fast and furious all throughout this pack. And how about Ryan Turner? He's already slicing through cars at the back, trying to bring his teammate Liam Martin with him. He's feeling out that car, I'm sure, after the motor change.
Battle for the lead. Sean Evans out of turn number 4, slapped the concrete on the front straightaway wall. That'll get your attention. He's going to lose a lot of ground to Josh Hansen out in front in the 88.
Here comes D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. He'll dive down to the inside of Aaron Turkey. Took 4th over, and he has it at the line, trailing DJ Christie, Sean Evans, and the leader, Josh Hansen.
Aaron Turkey slides up the racetrack. Dylan Westbrook gets around him. Turkey going to slide back to the inside. Yellow flag is out. Liam Martin and Kevin Pauls mixed up in turn number 1.
Rough night for Liam Martin. There's Cole McDonald also with problems on the back stretch.
Now, I got to tell you, Clinton, the concern at the drivers' meeting was the drivers were continuing to race after the yellow flag came out, and I've got to tell you, they've got a legitimate concern. Greg, did it seem to you like drivers were in the throttle for a long time after the yellow was out?
I would say so, yeah.
You know, there's a reason for it. If one car in a pack stays on the throttle, everyone stays on the throttle. You're kind of human nature type thing. But it is being addressed. The officials listened to it in the drivers' meeting, and they're working on it.
Guys, down here in turn 1, Kevin Paul is going to get pushed off in the 46. Don't appear to have any issues on his car. If I look up to Liam Martin, I only see one small issue, and it's the right front lower edge of that wing. Front wing is bent in, so you can see it right where the Ackland Insurance is. The E's kind of pushed up underneath. On that right side, Liam Martin getting pushed against traffic, which I don't love either. My goodness. They get that one sorted out. He'll get returned around and head back. Pauls has got some nose wing damage as well, but that's all I see wrong with both these cars, guys.
Kevin Pauls, it looked like he was thinking of going into the pits, but he stays on the racetrack.
Well, you know, if he needs to go to the work area, he's best to stop and ask for his 2 minutes. Had he just pulled in, they would not have waited for him. So, looks like he's got it back in gear and pulling to the back end. Now they're working on the Cole McDonald number 10. It is hitched up here on the back straightaway, and they're going to pull him further into the infield so we can get this program rolling.
So we're going to see the Dynablast shoes going shortly. Hansen to the inside, Evans to the outside. Eric Gledhill going to pick up a couple of lanes, a couple of rows rather. How did Chris Long get suckered into the hardest job at the racetrack?
I know. My heart aches for him.
I think we should get him an exercise bike. You pedal and it reels up the choose cone.
Back to the Cargo Ease restart zone, and on we go with 3 on the board. 22 left to settle it.
Hansen with the hole shot out in front. He'll slide up in front of Sean Evans. Dylan Westbrook up to the 3rd spot, looking for more.
Wow, Nick Sheridan threads the needle through corner number 3 and off of 4. He's into the top 5. Has the door shut by DJ Christie. Says, I'll go downstairs. He's up to 4th.
Sheridan having a great drive as he hurdles down the backstretch to the inside of Sean Evans in that 87X. Out in front, though, Josh Hansen continues to lead the way by 10 car lengths over Dylan Westbrook.
Dylan Westbrook is catching the leader. That 47X winner 1 week ago has got that thing on a rail, and he mentioned last week there was bite on the outside, and that was all the difference from 1 year ago where it was tough sledding. You really had to pedal the car and find any sort of grip, and it's been super quick on the outside here in 2024.
I'll tell you what, though, Josh Hansen, the last 2 laps, the fastest car on the track.
Yeah, Dylan is not closing the gap as that 88H hooked up and gone down the backstretch. Already can see the tail end of the field in this one. Some good battling going on back around that 4th, 5th, and 6th position as Mike Bovin trying to get around Linton Jeffrey.
Aaron Turkey has slid back some positions, and Travis Cunningham having a good run in that 90 machine. Working the inside groove, Darren Dryden up high, Travis Cunningham down low. He'll pick up a spot from Turkey.
Ryan Turner continues his march. Whoa, nice move there. He'll move up to the 12th spot as he's closing in on brother Corey Turner now down the front stretch. And here's a change of position as Nick Sheridan goes by Christie. Christie trying to get right back.
That is a close dance these two are having as they work down the front stretch. Mike Bowman in the 71 closing that gap as Kyle Phillips in the 21 looks like his night going to end prematurely.
Leaders running through lap traffic. They'll get by Jamie Turner in the 11, and Liam Martin still having all sorts of problems as the leaders begin to bear down on him.
Josh Hansen losing that advantage. Dylan Westbrook gobbling it up. Hansen hanging on to a loose race car on corner exit as he closes in on the back of Tyler Powless. Here comes Westbrook. We're going to have a battle for the lead.
Westbrook dives down low in corner 3, slides up in front of the 88. Hansen on the inside at the line. It's Westbrook, your leader. Halfway home.
What a move by Dylan Westbrook. This race is far from over, but a great job to take the lead there by Westbrook. Now a look to the inside of Tyler Powless. He'll slide him in 3 and 4.
Leaders come across the stripe another time. Hansen having some problems getting by Tyler Powless. Oh, I think, yeah, he did get into the back of the 77 of Tyler Powless. The caution comes out.
See, that's actually a great example. Tyler Powless there doing nothing wrong. That's what has happened the last number of years. Drivers trying to keep their car running and doing a 360. The trouble is, a 360 rarely ends perfectly straight. So he gets his bike back, and watch where Tyler Powless goes compared to Mike Lichty. So Powless going to go around, a little bit of help there, keeps the car running. And let's keep this replay going if you don't mind. So Powless doing the spin. Look at Mike Lichty minding his own business. I think the officials want these drivers, when they spin out, lock the car down, come to a stop. Much easier for Mike Lichty behind anybody coming from behind to avoid a stopped race car than one you have no idea what direction they're going to be going.
And I'll say this in Tyler's defense, this is week 1. It's going to be a hard habit to break, I think, for some drivers.
For sure.
It's a natural instinct to just keep your foot in the throttle, and you have to imagine sitting there looking at cars coming at you, the reaction is going to be, let's turn this thing around.
So what was happening was, because of the rules, drivers were being rewarded. So Tyler Powless doing a 360 keeps the car going. Didn't lose a single spot on the racetrack. Well, except to Josh Hansen, who was behind him, but otherwise nobody passed him. So they would keep that spot even if they did go yellow, wherever they blended in line. So it's a work in progress, but quite often the drivers will come to Clinton Jeffrey through the week and have conversations about things that they've experienced, things that they've seen. Hey, we think we have a way to improve this. Are you willing to listen? And the answer normally is yes, but it depends on the approach.
Well, it's been a rough night for Liam Martin trying to make his way through the field. So, Nitro 54 team, they're going to be tired out after this evening, I'm sure. Ryan Turner's done a nice job to work his way up into the 12th position from starting back in 23rd.
And as much as, you know, no team wants to have to change an engine. That's misfortune. You know these teams are up for it. Yeah. You've got an engine in the trailer, you have that problem. You know, it feels good to thrash and then come out. Liam Martin's doing his best out there in the number 9, but he's obviously fighting a bit of an uphill battle here tonight. White flag going to be displayed. The Dynablast choose cone once again coming into play. And Chris Long, and I know I'm making this up in my mind, but he looks more sad every time he walks back to the end of the rope. Not a lot, just a little.
Well, I think when they dig the line to put in your start-finish line, they should dig in a little spot where you can have a cone pop up out of the track and then spring back down. And
that would be awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
The yard of sticks for the start-finish line.
The yard of sticks.
Back to the Cargo Ease restart zone, and Dylan Westbrook eased them into the restart zone. That was a slow. Oh, boy, what a pass. Wow.
Sean Evans way up towards the wall. My goodness. Where did Josh Hansen go?
5th, 6th.
All the way out of the top 5 goes Josh Hansen on that restart. Nick Sheridan up to 2nd. Mike Bowman running 3rd. Sean Evans, despite trying to knock down the outside wall, problems in turn number 2. Travis Cunningham and Corey Turner. Liam Martin gets involved. Tyler Paulus has to spin out and lock it down to avoid.
That started down here in corner 1.
Cunningham with the wheel off of that 90 machine.
So you got Paulus there. Corey Turner, runner-up last week, collected in that. Liam Martin and Travis Cunningham. I think this started between Cunningham and Turner. And looks like Corey is done. Yeah, so there's contact between Cunningham into the 17 of Turner. Put Turner around, and I believe I saw him taking his helmet off, and he's done.
Well, Liam Martin's had a rough night. Travis Cunningham getting hooked up in the 90, and the 17 of Corey Turner's got his helmet off, so he's most likely done, but he is asking for his 2 minutes here in the 17 car. And Liam Martin sits patiently awaiting service to his car. I only see a nose wing here. I see a nose wing bent up, but I don't see any major problems for Liam Martin. I think he's good to go. We're just going to give him a shove and get him rolling, guys. Corey Turner going to take his 2 minutes in the work area. We'll get that worked out.
You'd have to think it'd be something in the rear end because it took a fairly solid shot.
Well, he'll know better when they start to push the car or tow the car back to the pits. That might be why he's taking his helmet off. It'll just be easier to communicate to his pit crew. Doesn't take too long to pop that helmet back on should the work get completed in the work area. Let's take a quick break here on G-Force TV. When we come back, it'll be more sprint car racing here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Are you looking to sell or fix your car? You can do it all with Kenny U-Pull. Whether it's running or not, we pay you top cash on the spot. We'll even tow your car off your lot. Need parts? Our yards have over 25,000 cars ready to be stripped and over 10 million car parts ready to be pulled. Find what you need at a fraction of the manufacturer's price. Fix it or sell it with Kenny. Visit KennyUpull.com today.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway as Freshstone presents Friday Night Excitement. You're back under the Dixieland Grill caution flag as most of the carnage on the backstretch has been cleaned up.
Clint, are you not being nice out there tonight? Like, normally we'd be 6 interviews into the night by now from these accident scenes.
Hey, we got a lot of frustrated drivers tonight, guys. Not everybody really wants to talk much. As you can imagine, when they bend up their gear, they're not too happy tonight.
I want to give a shout out to Joe and Kate Meyer, who came tonight to watch Johnny Miller, but unfortunately Johnny having the engine troubles, so hope you're having fun nonetheless, Joe and Kate.
I'll tell you, this next restart, we've got 3 cars at the front of this field who have been making the most bold moves to make their way towards the front. Dylan Westbrook in the 47X, Nick Sheridan in the APC number 45, and Mike Bowman in that 71.
Richard Parker says on Facebook, watching Adam Ross going up the stairs to the announce booth was truly a mighty wipes moment for us watching on GeForce TV.
Wow. I feel the love.
You know, I heard
guys have feelings too. You know.
I heard compliments last week saying you were looking great, and I'm not lying about that. But I didn't mention that before all the...
Oh, you know. Yeah, I feel good. There's a little bit less of me to love. Are you going to be okay? In your case, there's less of me to dislike.
Well, then that's not a good thing. Oh, my.
Ryan Turner, after starting all the way at the back of this field in the 23rd spot, runs 9th.
If it makes you feel any better, I went on a no sugar diet for a few weeks. I gained 5 pounds, so I don't understand that.
Well, I think your body knows when it's lost the will to live, right? It's not going to play into your favor.
And tonight with these apple fritters, I just ate about 3 weeks worth of sugar. So
I had 2 apples. They were just coated in dough and sugar.
Mine still are. Well, last week it was the 360s that put on a pretty clean feature, but boy, oh boy.
Oh, it happens. Good close racing. Eric Gledhill getting a push in that 7 machine. I can see Brian Hallowell in the back waving the flag, so I imagine somebody else is coming.
Kenny U-Pull push trucks heading into the infield as the Dynablast choose cones back on the track. Drivers picking which line they want to restart in.
Time is up for Corey Turner, guys. He asked for his 2 minutes. He is not ready to go, so it looks like we're going to go back to it without the 17. White flag is out. Going this time.
And that's a bad break for the guy that finished second a week ago. Championships can be lost in week 2.
They sure can, but he's got all season to rebound. Coming to this restart, Dylan Westbrook in the 47X just crawling through 3 and 4 with Nick Sheridan alongside.
Back to life through the Cargo Ease restart zone. Boy, Dylan Westbrook really brings them to a creeping roll as Nick Sheridan shot it in there, but Westbrook finds room, slides back by.
Man, oh man. Bold move by Sheridan and a bolder response from Dylan Westbrook to maintain that top spot.
Dylan Westbrook has been lights out so far here in 2 weeks of competition, kind of looking like the Dylan Westbrook we're used to. He started off strong last year and just kind of struggled. Not going to say he was terrible by any means. He was still up front, but he's back to dominant form so far in 2 weeks.
He's definitely the fastest car on the track right now in that 47 machine. Mike Bowman and Sean Evans duking it out for the third spot. Josh Hansen, who led early in this race in the number 88, trying to close in on that battle.
The three-car fight for the runner-up spot. Nick Sheridan has it over Mike Bowman, Sean Evans. Josh Hansen, who led early, has faded back to the 5th spot, but still solidly there. And you notice he's trying some different lines. That car not working the way it was early on.
When it comes to different lines, nobody does what Sean Evans does. Man, oh man! Swings around the outside of Mike Bowman. It looked like he might have landed in the 5th row of the front stretch grandstands there, but he makes that pass and picks up the 3rd spot.
Bowman not going away as they battle side by side off the corner. Evans clears in that time and gets a little bit of breathing room as the leader has caught the back of the pack. Nick Sheridan about a straightaway back in the 2nd spot. Evans clips the wall and he will slow.
Wow. Mike Bowman narrowly avoided Sean Evans in that 87X, and Evans hit the wall in turn number 2, and I believe it was the 4th or 5th time he's knocked the outside wall. It's possible that it only knocked the car out of gear, but I have a feeling he's twisted up the rear suspension.
He was exciting to watch.
He was so.
Man.
Well, guys, I don't see anything wrong here with this 87X of Evans. The front end looks all right. The rear end looks all right. Not sure what might have happened here, guys. You mentioned he might have clipped the inside wall, but I don't see any issues here.
The outside wall, Clint. He's hit the outside wall about 4 times in this race. Have a look at that right rear, and we'll look at the replay as he comes off of turn number 2. And that was a pretty hard shot, Mike Bowman, with quick reflexes.
Yeah, that's a mighty wipes moment for Mike Bowman.
Right?
Well, guys, the story down here, Sean Evans has been told within 5 laps to go there is no guaranteed work time. So he says, I'm not sure what's up. He goes, it feels all right. I'm going to try it, but not sure what's wrong. All the geometry looks good. All the tires look good. I don't see any bent bars. It looks like he just shut it off once he got into the outside wall, guys.
Where's the kill switch on these cars, Clint?
Well, you kind of got 2 systems here. You got a magneto switch up on the dash, and you can shut the fuel off, which will choke it off. So either way will shut the motor down, but the easiest way, just whip up and flip the off switch.
Right, but there's no way in slapping the wall off of turn number 2 that he would have hit any of the...
No, I don't think it might have hit where he might have hit the switch, but you never know. You know, you get jarred out of the way, rips your hands off the wheel. That's a good question for Sean after, and you can see him kind of testing the situation here. But yeah, just kind of shut off on him, and he looks all right.
He put on a whale of a show.
Maybe Sean out-nerved his car, and the car said, I give.
I'm trying to find a way to explain. He's going to need a wheelbarrow to walk home tonight.
We get it.
That could have hit the kill switch.
That was a South Park meme, right?
I'm telling you.
Corey Turner's back. Now, did he lose laps? He would have, right? Yeah, we went a few laps there under green. But he's back out with 4 laps left to settle it. And Nick Sheridan gets in there deep in corner one, but after that, it's all Dylan Westbrook. He's able to just fly away.
It is not all Dylan Westbrook, because Ryan Turner has driven from 23rd to 3rd in that number 15.
Boy, he's made some moves here in this last few laps as we get Mike Lichty going down into the infield. Yeah, Turner was back there in 12th not too long ago, and now he's up in 3rd. What a drive.
Unbelievable. Always something to watch as we've got 2 laps to go in this one. Can Turner hold off Josh Hansen and make it to the podium?
Off of corner 4. White flag goes in the air for D-Dubs, looking to go back-to-back. What a battle right now between Turner and Hansen. Who gets on the podium?
Westbrook just about got in the fence in turn number 2, able to save that car. Through 3 and 4 the final time. Westbrook for the win.
Sheridan will be second. Turner drives it 20 spots forward to 3rd over Hansen, Bowman, Dryden, Christie. Then it was Turkey, Martin, and Glenn Stiers. How about Liam Martin driving back up to 9th? And Glenn Stiers with a top 10 tonight as well. Things really shuffled up there in the last half of the race.
Well, I'll tell you, I noticed the same thing last week. We've got so many good drivers and so much good equipment out there that people come and go through the race. But if you hang in there and keep your car in one piece to the end, man, there's a lot of talent in this field.
Nick Sheridan will make his way down to victory lane as the runner-up. Dylan Westbrook, your winner. And how about the drive by this guy, the Nitro 54 variety number 15 of Ryan Turner, 23rd to 3rd. What a comeback for the driver of the 15 here tonight. Here comes D-Dubs down to Slack Lumber victory lane. We're about to light up the sky with some more of Lone Wolf fireworks display. And there they go up into the sky. Check them out on Highway 54 as D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook, gets unbuckled. And he'll get ready to talk to our Clinton Jeffrey in just a moment down in Slack Lumber. Victory lane 50-50 number about to be drawn as well.
Thanks, Greg. Dylan Westbrook for the second week in a row pulls it into Slack Lumber victory lane here with a dominant performance, but the youngsters were on him tonight. Nick Sheridan giving it his best there to try and reel him in along with Josh Hansen in the early going. Some solid runs for them, but here he comes out of the Sovereign Fusion cigar port number 47X. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? A big Ohsweken Speedway Slack Lumber victory lane welcome for the most winningest 360 driver in the history of the Speedway, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Well, Dylan, safe to say that the track is back where you like it. The track, what is it about it? It's hard packed, it looks slick, it's got some tack in it. Kind of back to the Ohsweken of old, I would think, and that suits your style pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, it's back to how it was a few years ago. I mean, it's in turn 1 and 2, it's like right on the edge there, but there is just a little bit to get a little bit of a curb there, so it's a lot of fun.
No, what a drive here. A bit crazy with the yellows and that. How do you keep your calm?
Just trying to keep calm and keep on getting those good starts. Just I never even went to the bottom that whole race, so I knew I had to get to the top and get a good start, and I think that's what really wants to race.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner here tonight in the Cool Kids Core Pack 360 Sprints, Dylan Westbrook.
And for our runner-up tonight, things finally went well for Nick Sheridan, and Clinton Jeffrey's going to catch up with him.
Nick, you still look angry. That means you're close and you're mad because you didn't quite get that last spot. Talk about your drive. Last week, you ended up spun out here, wrecked a few feet from where we are. Now you got a much better parking spot tonight at the end of the feature. Talk about your drive, Nick. You look really good tonight.
I appreciate it, Clinton. Man, this 45, she's getting a lot better. We still need to do a little bit of work on it, though. We were just a little too free, but that 47, man, he's a great driver. Congrats to him. It's fun to race with him because you can really trust people like that. So I like racing against him, and Yeah, no, we're good. We just got a little more work to do, but I haven't been on this pad in 2 years, Clinton. It's been a long time, so, well, besides last week. But I'm very happy to be here probably at the end of the race, and it's a great run for our team. I can't thank all our sponsors enough. APC Auto Parts Centers came on this year, Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Leach Performance Engines are all in the car. SRP Shocks, they were working good tonight, and my thoughts are with my friend James's family. I'm very sorry to hear having him, but it was nice to have him on the crew, and it's we had a good run. So we can keep the speed up next week.
There you have it, Nick Sheridan, second place, guys.
I can't believe it's been 2 years for Nick Sheridan to be on the pad. Unbelievable. And I heard Ryan Turner thanking a couple of cautions, but those cautions didn't drive their way through the field.
Well, Ryan, what a drive, man. Started 23rd, missed the scales, had to come from way deep, but, man, it didn't look like it caused you much trouble at all here tonight.
No, coming in, I said we got to get better in the heat races and the qualifying, and, I did the opposite to our team and missed the scales. Whether that was me or I just didn't hear it, but you know what? I told them we're going to throw everything we have at it, and we had a bunch of lucky cautions there to help us out. We seemed to always get a couple people on the restarts, and it just all came to us. But it's been this team just working really hard and getting it done. And even last week I missed, we have 7 new sponsors on this car this year. Polycaro Foundations, Dayco Construction, they're here tonight, JR's Waterproofing, Pivot Mini, Cooper's Flooring, Newland Bar Service, and a whole bunch more. But it just shows the force we have this year with this team and what we're building.
Right on. Ryan Turner will be third tonight. Second place be Nick Sheridan, your winner. Dylan Westbrook. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV. 2 future events still to come.
So my parents were blessed with 4 daughters, and we were all my dad's #1 farm hand. And I can't really think of any of those chores that didn't involve a red tractor. One of the more special ones on the farm was a 1954 Farmall Super MTA that my great-grandfather actually bought brand new. That's still on the farm today, 4 generations later. My dad really liked that Super MTA. They only made them in 1954, so he actually picked up a second one in the late 80s. Since my dad's passing, my sisters and I coordinate Jim's annual tractor ride. We hold it every Labor Day weekend, and we just spend the afternoon driving around the countryside with, of course, my dad's Super MTA leading the way. It means a lot. And so the fact that we have my dad's MTA and that we're still, keeping it and using it every year, multiple occasions, is really special. We sure wish he was here with us, but we feel him every day. My name is Holly, and I grew up with a Farmall Super MTA.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway, where Six Nations Bingo, Bradshaw Brothers, AECON-SIX Nations, and Lone Wolf Fireworks brings you tonight's racing action. 2 features down, 2 to go. Up next, the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks, 20 laps the distance. On the pole, last week's feature winner out of Victoria in the 84RK, it's Ryan Beagle. To his outside from Burlington, it's the 97 of Ron Logie. Rolling off third out of Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. Starting fourth from Port Robinson, the 108 is Zach Bleach. Starting in fifth from Hagersville, the 49 of Dave Bailey, and to his outside with a solid run in his qualifying heat tonight. From Caledonia, the 55 of Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. Rolling off seventh from Dundas, the 24R, that's Rodney Rutherford. Kyle Wirt to the outside of him. He's from Ancaster in the 19, starting 8th. Going 9th, runner-up 1 week ago from Hagersville in the 93K, it's Mike Klazinga. And going from 10th out of Harley, the 37 of Rob Hoskins. Starting in 11th from Ohsweken in the 28D, Robbie General. Casey Huffman from Brantford in the 13th goes 12th. 13th, Adam Plazik from Caster Center in the 41. George Grossel from Canfield in the 03 starts 14th. Starting 15th from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple. 16th, Lyle White from Ohsweken in the 14. Going 17th from Binbrook, the 427 of Tim Smokey Phelan. Scott McPhail rolls off in the 18th spot from Hamilton, the 07. Blake Bomberry Jr. from Ohsweken, the 24, goes 19th. 20th, Ryan Denning from Hagersville. 21st, Aiden Nye in the 88. Kyle Anderson, 22nd. Jim Lampman, 23rd. Logan Ferguson, 24th. And Travis Whittle scheduled to go 25th. And yes, he did bank the call. It's tough on the field when Ryan Beagle keeps drawing the pole.
It is so, and I lodged that complaint earlier to Ryan Beagle himself. But are we handicapped yet? Nope. He leads the way. Ron Logie in second, Zach Bleach third. Then side by side, the battle for fourth with Trevor DeBoer and Kyle Wirt on the outside.
Another solid division here at Ohsweken Speedway. We have 4 top to bottom, always exciting feature events. And more than a handful of drivers in every division that can win. This is another one. If you've never watched the Thunderstocks here before, always a great show.
It's fun to watch Casey Huffman really figuring out that 13 machine that he picked up from Logan Schwedick. Out there running in the top 10, good for him. He certainly paid his dues.
He has good car. He has got there a car that's capable of winning. And contact with Mike Thorne. Adam Plazik gets it wound up just in time. Minor contact there.
Sorry, Casey.
Never fails.
We talked about Mike Thorne in the heat. Talked about Casey Huffman just then.
Mike should be all right there, but the restart position won't be. We just caught the tail end of that. I believe Huffman got in there just a little bit hot on the back end of the Burger Barn 55. This guy is Mr. Smooth. Talk about hitting your marks. Ryan Beagle.
Have a look at that replay once again. Couldn't see the contact that started it, but Daniel, can you show that once more? Look at how leaned over on the right front Logie's number 97 is through the center of the turn. If we get a chance to watch that replay.
Yeah.
Man, that's, especially compared to Kyle Wirt right behind him where the front end is fairly level. Interesting difference in the way these cars are set up.
Yeah. Well, he's right there lined up alongside Ryan Beagle here on the restart with 3 laps complete, 17 to go. They'll approach the Cargoese restart zone.
Dave Bailey didn't love the tires he chose last week. You can run American Racer tires, you can run Hoosier tires in this division. Gone to a different setup here this week of rubber on that race car. We'll see if it works for the Queenston Chevrolet. Number 49 of Dave Bailey. Logie with a good restart. Keeping Ryan Beagle tucked down to the inside, side by side down the backstretch.
Door to door they go. Kyle Wirt right tucked up in behind the 84 RK's. Got Zach Bleach to his outside. Whoa, handful there for Ron Logie.
What a chain reaction that was. Logie had his hands full. Zach Bleach got caught up. Kyle Wirt got caught up. Everybody stays on the throttle. That allows Ryan Beagle to open up.
3-car fight for that second spot. Kyle Wirt pinned down to the inside of the 108 of Zach Bleach. Caution flag is out as we have the 07 of Scott McPhail around.
Blake Bomberry down against the inside wall on that 24 machine. Again, another chain reaction situation.
So once again, we get the Dixieland Grill caution flag out.
Blake Bomberry given this universal signal. Pick it up from the front.
Well, guys, you got a left front problem here on the Blake Bomberry car. It looks like just a flat left front. And we'll see what's up here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get some help off the racetrack. Just before the season, we had a chance to sit down with a lot of these drivers. We actually spoke with Dave Bailey about his son as his crew chief and what he sees for the future of his race team.
My son, he's 12 now, and he's pretty much been at the racetrack with us at Merrittville and stuff for sure. And he's in the shop like all the time with me, and he goes in the grandstands at Ohsweken so he can be with his friends. But he's been with us since COVID, and you couldn't go in the grandstands. So 4 years now or 3 years now at the racetrack, and he's learning real good. We don't change a whole lot, but I always run stuff by him, like, what do you think about doing this or whatever? And he's always got an opinion. It's fun having him with me. And then, like, now my dad's in Hagersville too, so my dad comes with us to the races every week too. So it's interesting to see between my son and my dad, who has more knowledge about the race car stuff. We have a mini stock there, but he's never raced anything. So hopefully with him hanging out with us, he's going to be good and like at mechanics and understanding. So when it is his turn to race, he's got all the knowledge he needs other than the driving part.
Dave Bailey is one of many drivers, Greg, who doesn't enjoy being interviewed. Yet I find his answers so compelling, so interesting to listen to.
Yeah, you talk to Dave Bailey and you think, it's going to be a quiet, quick answer. Usually they're quite deep and insightful in the things he says. It might not take a lot of words, but there's a lot of meaning behind them.
And he's very dry, which I'm sure you can't relate to, Greg. But he is funny. Yeah. Funny, thoughtful, insightful. Always get something good. Ryan Beagle, to me, is very similar. Someone who he doesn't want the limelight, just wants to go out here and drive in circles and have fun.
Back we go with 15 laps left on the board. 5 complete here. The Cargoese restart as Ryan Beagle, Ron Logie continue to battle it out, and it's been 2x2 for much of this race behind him.
Zach Bleach with a good restart there. That leads them side by side, battling for second as Ryan Beagle out in front, hugging that inside wall in the corners.
Rodney Rutherford's been kind of sniffing around all night, had a good solid heat race run. He's hanging nicely up there in the top 10, right behind Trevor DeBoer in the 6th spot. Another regular this year that's going to make his presence known.
Trouble in turn number 2. I believe that's Logan Ferguson spun around on the inside of the racetrack. No harm, no foul. Gets that car spun back around, pointed in the right direction. We've got 6 laps complete, 14 laps to go. Then after that, we've got the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint feature.
All 4 divisions back in action next Friday night with the Touch a Truck and Tractor night. So make sure you bring the kids out for that one. Because you think about it, youngsters, you get to see them out on the highway, some of these big trucks and that. You see them on TV, but how often do you really get a chance to get up and close unless, you're a family that's associated with one. So it's a great night for the kids.
I agree, as much as it pains me to do so.
What night's Touch a Cheeseburger night? Wow.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, it's getting that time where I start getting a little munchy.
Yeah. What time is that, Greg? No, wait a second.
Well,
what time is it not?
What time is it not? It would be easier to tell you. Green back out. 14 to go, and Blake Bomberry's able to make it back out onto the racetrack. Should be 1 lap down.
Ron Logie trying to clear Zach Bleach. He'll do it going down into turn number 3. Close the door on Bleach. Now move up the racetrack. Runs in that 2nd spot. Now the side-by-side battle is for 3rd between Bleach and Kyle Wirt.
Leachman racy all night long. The qualifying heat now here in the feature, hanging in the top 3. Got Kyle Word all over his back bumper. And the one thing I've noticed the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been as easy for Dave Bailey to work his way to the front like in years gone by. He still got up there last week, up to the 4th spot, I believe it was.
Well, he's got up off the bottom groove, but I don't think his car is working as well off the bottom as Mike Plazinga's.
Yeah.
Mike driving that 93 for all he's worth. But lap by lap, he picks up a few feet on the competition.
Time by will be halfway home, and it's been all Ryan Beagle once again. Ron Logie and Kyle Word have separated themselves. Oh, Plazinga! Oh, stops it just in time. And we stay under the green.
Don't know if he's got steering in that car right now.
Cautions it. Now, see if he can get that car going again, or if he will need a tow. No.
Backing that car up.
Veteran move there. Waits a little bit.
Yeah,
Netsdale. No.
Yeah, I think he's lost the steering in that 93. That's a beautiful race car, though.
So our runner-up from a week ago is going to go on the hook.
Plazinga pointing to the front of the car. Same as Blake Bomberry did, saying, I'm going to need a lift. Thankfully, he was able to get that car woed up because it was headed directly towards the wall.
And it was a matter of, I think, inches by the end. He got pretty close to the bales there and had it woed up. Quentin Jeffries on the scene, as you can see them popping the hood off there to find somewhere to hook on.
Mike, such a solid run last week. What happened tonight?
Something broke in the steering. I don't know what's wrong. Wheel just spins.
Show that again. Look at him turn the wheel there. Just spinning, guys. No input from the wheel to the front wheels. Thanks, Mike.
So there's universal joints in the steering column, Clinton. If you want to have Jack point down into the hood, you'd probably be able to see, but I would imagine the universal joint snapped, so the part that goes into the power steering is still there.
So the tow truck's trying to, so here's the steering shaft here, this red shaft, and if Mike turns it, there's no input there, and you can see it's broken somewhere between here and in the dash. So
wow,
the knuckle somewhere's happened right in around this area is where it is. So that'll be it.
Good work, fellas. You finally got a driver to talk to you. I was going to start sending you out there with cookies. Will you talk to me? I'll give you a cookie. Who am I kidding? I've never given away a cookie in my life.
Well, here's an interesting dilemma. As Mike Plazinga was messing around with what's going on, he got a quick, I don't know if you can see it on the jack, but he's got a quick release behind the dash. He said, I snapped it back in. I'm good to go. So Mike Plazinga miraculously just fixed the steering here, guys.
He's got a quick release behind. Is that car set up for multiple drivers, Clinton? Is like, why would he have a quick release?
It's for mail delivery in case he needs to sit on the other side.
Wow. Something made that quick release quickly.
Maybe this is just a really, really veteran move to prove that he wasn't trying to get a caution.
Clint, I was tuckered out. Needed a rest.
That's a new one.
Yeah, why would there be multiple quick releases?
Look at that.
It's a miracle. That's a new one.
So he's got a quick release on his quick release.
But wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's attached to the other quick release. Sometimes you need to release quick. times 3.
Ryan Beagle going to lead us back to green. 10 laps down, 10 laps to go in this Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock feature event.
Here we go. Ryan Beagle, smooth and steady on the inside line. Stacked up 3 wide behind him. Wirt muscling by Logie into the second spot. Here comes Zach Bleach.
That was a nice move by Zach Bleach to squeeze between DeBoer and the 23 and the 97 of Ron Logie. Logie didn't fire off quite as well on that restart as he had previously.
Logie now door-to-door with Trevor DeBoer right behind that. How about Adam Plazik? Mentioned him in the qualifying heats as we got problems now with the 28D of Robbie General. Goes up the hill, comes back on the track, but Adam Plazik's had a solid night tonight and someone that has struggled with misfortune over the last few years.
Yeah, if you can be out there ahead of Dave Bailey, you're doing all right. There's a couple of drivers mixed up there in turn number 1. They were able to keep their cars rolling, and we'll stay under green. Ron Logie trying to fight back into the top 3. He runs side by side with Zach Bleach into 1 and 2.
Kyle Wirt trying to close the gap on Ryan Beagle. Right now the difference 1.349 seconds. We'll see if there's any ground gained that time by. What does it say this time by? Nope, loses 0.3 of a second. So Ryan Beagle right now making it look easy out front.
How about some of our drivers who had problems earlier on in this race? The 55 of Mike Thorne, the 13 of Casey Huffman. They're out there battling just behind Go Fast Teeple in the 11, and the 37 of Rob Hoskins.
You know, I'll never get it how some drivers are so good at making their fast car look slow and smooth. Ryan Beagle doesn't look super fast in the way that he dominates, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. He is so very smooth. As Adam Plazik losing a couple of spots on the back straightaway, he might have a problem in that 41. Not sure if he's got a right front down, maybe a left front down, but something is not quite right in that 41 machine. Caddy Wampus.
Should never have talked about him. Oh yeah, he's got some problem on the left front there. So a good run goes sour here in the closing laps for Adam Plazik.
It'll be 2 to go this time for Ryan Beagle as he comes off of turn number 4, just working down the backstretch right now into 3 and 4. He's got a little bit of slower traffic to deal with.
2 laps left to go for Ryan Beagle over Kyle Wirt. Ron Logie. Oh, Wirt just gets by.
We stay. No, we don't stay under green. Yellow flag comes out for Logan Ferguson, who spun just amongst the race leaders. Well, this will be fun.
Let's have a look at the replay here as the 88 goes around.
Oof. That was close. Many thanks to my good buddy Dave Trendle, saying it's a steering quickener shaft slide off. I think he's messing with me.
They couldn't shorten that name a little.
Look at those words all in a row.
Steering quickener shaft slide off.
All right, Dave, I trust you. Where millions would not.
It's like when you send the new stock clerk at work to go get the shelf stretcher.
Dave Bailey with a flat left front, guys, on the 49. That is the one tire you're allowed to compete with flat, so they will let him know on the one-way. He'll most likely hang on to it for 2 more laps, but he has been notified.
Yeah, there you see it, left front.
That's the one tire you can run.
Yeah.
Flat.
Hey, if you're Scott Bloomquist, you don't even need that left front.
Single file restart with 2 laps to go. Oh, that's an accordion. That's a wreck.
Oh, yeah, Tim Phelan. And Robbie General made some contact there.
Well, it's time to go.
White flag this time by for Ryan Beagle. Kyle Wirtz going to try something on the outside line.
Wirt up on the high side, hustling that car to the white flag one more time around. Can he close in on Beagle?
He's there, that's for sure, but a car length back, but Beagle's so good off of corner number 2. Makes up a lot of ground there. Final time through 3 and 4.
Beagle down low, Kyle Wirt up high, sailing that car around the high side, not gonna get it done. Beagle for the win, Wirt second, and it's Logie, Bleach, DeBoer, Dinning, Rutherford, Bailey, Hoskins, Teeple, and Thorne.
Ryan Dinning loops it around at the end of that one, up in corner 2. It's going to be Beagle, Wirt, and Logie down on the front stretch in Slack Lumber Victory Lane. And I'll tell you what, first couple of weeks, the handicap system not in place. Ryan Beagle worked it to perfection and got maximum points in those 2 races where he could start, where he drew.
Yeah, big couple of weeks for Beagle, that's for sure. Oh, he's got a little. That was after the checkered flag. A few cars getting close together there. I don't think there was any ill intent, but we'll find out pretty soon.
Tonight's sponsor, Lone Wolf Fireworks, lighting up the sky for us here tonight is the big dog, Ryan Beagle. Here he comes on the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for your point leader in the early going here, Ryan Beagle. All right, Ryan, what a drive here tonight. Again, man, just covering them, you got to be super proud. But next week, you're going to start about 18th, so not quite having a front row view to start next week.
Yeah, it's been a start to the year. I'm actually looking forward to handicapping. It's a lot of fun trying to come through the field like that. And, I don't know what to say. This thing is just really good. And I found a little bit of moisture there right against the blocks and just stuck with it, and that's how we got here.
Right on, Ryan Beagle will pick up his second Slack Lumber Victory Lane feature winter hat, and we'll get over here and talk to Kyle Wirt. Kyle, solid drive here tonight, man. This is where you should be at this point with this car in your career. How do you feel about second here tonight?
Yeah, I can't complain from 17th last week. Nothing but problems. Looking forward to the rest of the year. Finally get some pump up underneath me, so we're looking forward to it.
Right on, Kyle Wirt, your second place finisher. Gents?
Ron Logie held in there all night up and around the top 3 and put on a great performance. He's knocking on the door to a victory. Clinton Jeffrey's going to catch up with him right now.
Ron, you're one of the guys who kind of migrated here from the Niagara and made Ohsweken your home in the last couple of seasons. When I know you're having a lot of fun and liking it here, but these wins are going to help those long drives home a lot better. Tell us about your night tonight.
It was a great night. It was a lot of fun battling with Beagle up there. Not a lot of real estate down low where I wanted to be, and as you can see, the back of the car's all pretty caved in. So if you didn't get going, guys are all over you. Just want to thank my sponsors, EN2, for all the help they've given me, Cosdy Dental, DDL and Company, James Little, big race for him tomorrow, and Andy's Roofing as well. Thank you.
There you have it, Ron Logie, our third place finisher. Second place be Kyle Wirt, and your winner tonight. Ryan Beagle, want to quick mention the Ivan Little Memorial is at Merrittville tomorrow. Big money on the line for Sportsman Modifieds and these Thunderstocks. We'll be right back live here on GeForce TV. One feature to go, the Strickland's Crate Sprints will cap us off here on Community Night. We'll be right back live here on GeForce TV.
Your mom got a new tractor? Yep. Can't she see in the dark? Can do. Hook up all the implements? Can do. Steer with ease? Can do. Bale hay all day? Can do. Shift like a race car? Can do. Keep a juice box cold? Can do. I'm out of here.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on G-Force TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere. Back with one feature left to go here at Ohsweken Speedway. It's the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. 20 laps of distance. Adam Ross with the starting lineup.
28 cars scheduled to take the green flag. On the pole from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Outside row number 1, the number 7 from London is Caleb Wood. Third from St. Thomas in the 52 is Jesse Costa, and fourth in the 24A from Stony Creek, A.J. Lewis. Fifth out of Wayne Fleet, the BS39, Brett Stratford. Sixth in the 14 from Thamesford, it's Larry Gledhill. Seventh in the 74 from Rockwood, it's Rob Neely. Eighth from Thorold, the 71 is Brent Bigelow. 9th from Harrisburg, the 14W is Greg Wilson. 10th from Mississauga, the 00 is Mac DeMann. 11th from Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanico. 12th from Ancaster, the 16X is Keegan Baker. 13th from Cortland, the 5 is Tom Pellizzari. 14th in the number 2 from Baden, Travis Hofstetter. 15th from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. 16th from Rockwood, the 94, Ryan Fraser. 17th, the 50 LS from Kitchener's Adrian Staley. 18th from Hagersville, the 11W is Jeremy May. 19th from Ohsweken, the 28T is Cam Thompson. 20th from St. George, the 69K, Ken Hamilton. 21st in the 97 from Listowel, it's Sheldon Bender. 22nd from Georgetown, the 2M, Steve Murdoch. 23rd from St. Catharines, the 2S is Al Slate. 24th from St. Catharines, the 777A is Tyler Willard. 25th from Waynefleet, the 85C is Cam McKinnon. 26th from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. 26th from Simcoe, the 14B is Broden Weiler. And rounding out the field from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schweddick.
Now, I have to confirm with Clint there, but we just saw Brian Nanicoke. He stopped on the backstretch. Did they find a bar or something on the backstretch and he was pointing that out? Because if it wouldn't affect his starting position if
No,
that's the case.
That was it. He tried to indicate on the pace out, then he stopped right where it was, and there was a huge chunk of steel left over for one of the Thunderstocks that they picked up. He got it pushed off, and he got his spot back, and he was told that on the one way, so all the other drivers know where we are. Getting ready to go, guys.
The Lockhart's one to watch for this one. Steve Murdoch in the 2M. He won opening night. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants a repeat performance here tonight. Greg?
Got in by the hair of his chinny chin for sure on that one going through the B main tonight. And he'll have to work for it. But if there's a driver that can do it using especially the outside line, it's Steve Murdoch.
Guys, a bit of a unique situation there. All the drivers were pointing out and waving when they got through turn 2. So the crew is going to get over and have a look, make sure there's nothing down there that they're missing. But a bunch of drivers all indicating something's on the bottom of the track in turn 2. So they went back, and it was, now we just got over the radio, it's a setup block. If you're not sure what that is, it's a little piece of steel and plastic that the teams use to set up the heights between the frame and the rear ends of this car. And a setup block, it's the most forgetful thing. The crews forget them all the time. We find them scattered all over the place. So the drivers are pointing out that setup block. We're coming to white this time. They've got it picked up, guys.
And that's the thing for the officials. You've got to keep the eyes on the drivers as well. If they're trying to point something out on the racetrack, obviously it got to the point where Brian Anacoke had to stop and make sure you don't want that bar or that setup block laying out there where it could injure someone.
No, 100%. Racing is not the safest of activities.
Guys, here's the setup block. So this, okay, it will be magnetized to the axle. They can set different heights on it, but this is what was on the track.
Very cool. As I was saying, not the safest activity you can do, but you try to eliminate anything that makes it more dangerous.
Green is out. Final feature of the night. 20 laps of distance. Lance Erskine found something late 1 week ago. He's on the pole tonight. So it's, we got one up and over, and it's the 69K of Ken Hamilton.
Looks like Jeremy May might have been involved in that in the 11 machine.
It's a good look at the underside of a sprint car right there for you, and the safety crew getting on the scene quickly to check on Ken. Looks like things are okay as they're going to toss that car over.
When you see the safety crew start to put the car back on all fours, they have talked to the driver, and the driver is given the go-ahead to make that happen. You know, Ken Hamilton, one of those drivers who took a little while to get up to speed, but he's really had started to find that speed and has been doing a great job in the 69K. And tonight's race only lasted one turn.
Well, guys, I can show you some of the broken up parts here. You can see the nose is all pitched in on it. All kinds of suspension issues here, front axle, and other things gone off here. You can see this is where the wing attaches. It's busted off, and all kinds of other issues here on the Hamilton 69K.
Looks like Hamilton might have slid up into someone else's space and touched wheels. Is that what it looked like to you there, Greg?
I think so. It was enough to send him over the rest of the way, and I believe that's the first up and over for Ken Hamilton. It's been a steep learning curve, but has really come on since halfway through last season. They've got that car set up, and now he's been initiated into the rollover club, I guess.
Yeah, they're just taking a quick talk here with Ken, making sure he's all right before they drag him away. The raceman in there just making sure he's all right, Brandon and the crew. Making one last check here on Ken before we pull this one away.
Super Kenny there on the hood.
Ken gonna climb out from behind the wheel of the 69 machine. And go for a bit of a walk.
So that happened on the initial green flag, so 0 laps completed here in our final feature of the night. Do a quick break here on GeForce TV. We'll be back and resume this final feature of the night.
It all started for us at the racetrack, from dirt to waters. We have continued to keep the adrenaline and drive to make sure that we are always in the forefront. We are driven to give our customers the absolute best in service, products, and memories with your family. No matter what your passion is, whether it's on the water, in the dirt, on the snow, or on the road, we will always be here welcoming you over and over again through the doors here at Lockhart's. You're not just a customer here, you are part of our team.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Back at Ohsweken Speedway, Freshstone presents Friday Night Excitement final feature. Cars rolling again as the Kenny U-Pull push trucks have been busily getting every car back fired up, other than Ken Hamilton, who's on the hook and ready to go to the pit area. We'll try it again, 20 laps for the crate sprints.
My main takeaway from that conversation under the break is that Clint wants to wear ruby red slippers. Was that basically the moral of that story?
I didn't take that. But
Clint, I believe in your right to choose, my friend. I stand with you. Just not in the splatter zone.
I'll just say, though, if he's Dorothy, you're the Scarecrow.
I can accept that.
Do these qualify?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Hey, how about Proc Shot? G-Force and Epic got us covered there, boys.
There you go.
Nicely done.
All right, quit following me, Jack. That's weird.
Jack is Toto.
You've taken this to new levels. All right, the field taking shape here on the back straightaway. Everybody's sorting out where they feel they belong. I believe they're just about sorted out to the satisfaction of Dave and Shelby and Kenzie over in the officials' room.
Dave's done a fantastic job up here, and so good that I've already forgotten the other guy's name that was here before.
Who's that?
What's his face? Leonard somebody? Leonard Hofstadter.
Okay, the white flag from Carter Long. Next time at a turn number 4, we're going to try this again. Lance Erskine got a great launch on the original start. We will head to the Cargo Ease restart zone with a complete restart. Brett Stratford rocketed around the inside of 1 and 2, got around Jesse Costa. He had a phenomenal start. Can you do it again?
Well, that's the thing. He's the one that hated to see that caution, all that hard work for naught. Here we go, back under the green flag. Erskine, Costa blocks the bottom lane that time. Here he comes charging on Erskine.
Jeremy May in the 11 with a problem on that start. He's all the way to the back of the field. We'll see if the car wants to turn in 3 and 4. Lance Erskine going to lead lap number 1.
Caleb Wood running that outside line, trying to work it to get by Costa and Erskine. Here comes Costa, dives down in corner number 3, takes the top spot away for the moment. Erskine's got it wound up on the outside, pinches it to the wall and leads the lap.
Lance Erskine maintains that lead, then closes the door on Costa to run the inside of 1 and 2. Stratford also running the bottom. He'll race wheel to wheel with Caleb Wood in the 7th.
You know who's had a much better night tonight than last week? That 0-0 of Mac DeMann. Seemed to struggle a little bit with that 0-0, but tonight he's right up there solidly inside the top 10, knocking on the door of the top 5.
Brent Bigelow to the outside of Brett Stratford, the 39 down low, the 71 up high. They'll race side by side through 3 and 4 for the 4th spot.
Trouble up in corners 1 and 2. Cam Thompson rolls to a stop, and that will put us back under the Dixieland Grill caution flag.
The driving with Haley 28T of Cam Thompson.
Nice looking car this year.
Great looking race car. He's pretty active there in the cockpit, moving around as he waits for the safety crew to come along. Looks like he's just requesting a push.
Yeah, guys, just want to mention that car was lettered up by Steve Lyons at Creative Edge. Steve donated a graphics package to the sprint car teams for a random draw, and Cameron won it. So that's why it looks so great this year. Steve fixed him up, courtesy of his win at the banquet.
Steve does great work, and you can't look very far around the Speedway without seeing a lot of his handiwork and banners and wraps, signs.
I'm surprised we don't have logos printed on us that Mike Morris hasn't sold us yet.
Well,
next week.
Yeah, I'm worried mine's going to be Jenny Craig. The commentary of you jerks tonight.
It won't be. It'll be Weight Watchers. I want Dairy Queen. Get on it, Mike.
I hate to say it, Greg, but they made my suit 2 sizes too small. At least that's my story for the TSN style. And no matter how hard I try to bust Adam's ass on this, he's got me tomorrow, because there's no way this Muffin Man is getting into that little suit tomorrow. I got into it once, but I don't know if we're going to fit it. It literally took 3 of us to get me in it at CTMP. I just hope we got help tomorrow.
Rob Twitchett used to say that about me getting in the hobby car, like trying to stuff a muffin in the toaster.
There's an image.
The way I describe it, if you split the skin on your sausage there and it just pops, that's like me trying to zip up the soup, trying to get it back in.
Oh, that poor zipper.
we nearly ripped it out. It was crying the whole way. In fact, I had to get soap to lube it up. How about that?
Omaha.
The jokes write themselves.
Hang on, I can see Jack's peeing out the bottom of the buggy laughing so hard over here.
Back through the cargo. I can't. Cargo E3 start zone. 3 and 17 to go.
Jesse Costa to the outside of Lance Erskine. Costa will lead the way down into 3. Erskine drives it deep into 3 and 4. He'll slide across the 52 crossover for Costa to take the lead.
Back comes Erskine on that bottom side. Caleb Wood's been steady on the outside line here in the opening laps of this one. Now Brett Stratford is in front of Brent Bigelow, and he's got that BS 39 pointed towards the 7 of Caleb Wood.
Steve Murdoch deep in the field is mired in traffic. He just worked 3 wide between Al Slayton and Travis Hofstetter. He got around Hofstetter, but Al Slayton was able to get that position. But Steve Murdoch really struggling to make hay from the back of this field.
He was a winner 1 week ago, and remember, Lance Erskine had that solid run. This could be a good points night for him if he can stay where he is, but he's feeling the pressure from that 7 of Caleb Wood right there on the tail tank.
Caleb Wood doing a great job running the same line right now as Lance Erskine, so that may pose a problem until they get into lap traffic. Now Wood going to drop down and take a look to the inside of Erskine as we are under yellow. We've got one spun around. Is that Pellizzaro?
I believe so, up there in corner number 4. Oh, no, Rob Neely in the radio shuttle, 74. Back under the Dixieland Grill caution flag. "13 laps left to go in our final feature of the night. Again, we want to thank Six Nations Bingo. Check them out, sixnationsbingo.ca for your ultimate gaming experience. Bradshaw Brothers proudly serving Six Nations since 1956. We'll get a replay here. Looped it around, I believe, there for Rob Neely. Woo! That was a close call for someone.
Was so.
Might have been Ashton Van Every that had that close call. Also want to thank AECON-SIX Nations and Lone Wolf Fireworks, the official firework provider of Ohsweken Speedway. A great Six Nations community night. I want to thank everyone that joined us here. Love to have you back next Friday night, 7:30 start time.
Don't you dare miss it.
Rob Neely gets the push off, and he'll be back underway. There's the leader in the D&O Towing, number 52, Jesse Costa. Great to see D&O Towing step up and put more into the racing program of Jesse Costa. Nathan Acklin Racing, and they're big supporters of Eric Gledhill as well. And it's exciting when you see more and more companies doing that.
Well, and they do it for a reason, Greg. They're getting a return. They're happy to be here. There's a lot of people here seeing their branding and seeing their logos.
Carter says, Dad, go. They're coming to the green. Single file past that restart cone that Chris Long just placed out on the front stretch. Look at this battle here. Erskine up on the top of the 88. Stratford on the bottom. Wood right behind him. McDemand's joined in on this.
Out in front, though, Costa immediately drives away and builds an advantage, leaving Lance Erskine to deal with Brett Stratford. As you said, Greg, McDemand starting to flex his muscle. He makes a move on Caleb Wood.
Plenty of great racing throughout this pack. There is some action to watch everywhere. We continue to watch Steve Murdoch, who struggles. He goes up the hill in corner number 2 and just gave up a couple of spots. So last week's winner having a miserable night, as now Logan Schwedick will pull it into the infield.
Schwedick's night going to end early as Jesse Costa closing in on the tail end of the field. He'll look to the outside of Jeremy May in that 11. Put him a lap down. Trevor Young right there as well.
Leaders bearing down on traffic right now as Jesse Costa works to the outside of Young. And Jeremy May in the 11 machine now catching a big pack of cars in front of that. And we're back under the caution flag another time as Ashton Van Every's gone around in corner number 2.
11 laps down, 9 laps remaining. Greg, if it's all right with you, I'm going to turn off the air conditioner.
Oh, I was ready about 2 hours ago,
yeah,
so thank you.
I just keep shivering.
Oh, that's better.
Right?
So Ashton Van Every, I believe, is just going to get a push here, ready to go again. Beautiful looking ride here, 2024.
Yeah, that car looks awesome.
What a nice kid.
Yep. I've never seen him without a smile on his face.
Just one of the drivers before the races tonight had his car set up out front. 9 to go. Jesse Costa's shown so far he's the one to beat. McDemand is like inching his way closer and closer here. He's up to 4th now.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of these restarts. I don't know if he's got the speed just yet in that 00 car. Definitely looking better than he did last week.
Started 10th up to 4th now.
How about Greg Wilson up there in the top 10? Larry Gledhill in the other 14. After a nasty flip last week, it's great to see Larry Gledhill back and up to speed. I've been watching Keegan Baker up there in 7th as well. Having a solid run, started in 12th, right there with Brent Bigelow and A.J. Lewis. So that 16X having a good run here this evening. Costa slowly riding around the cushion. He'll drive down the banking through the cargo ease restart zone. No. Oh, Pass.
Steve Murdoch
might get in a little trouble for that one as he was up on the wheel and alongside Brian Nanicoke, maybe even past Brian Nanicoke when they got to that restart cone. Definite no-no there for the 2M as he's 3 wide on the front stretch. Out in front, Stratford and Erskine, they've been going back and forth, and now McDemand's got shuffled out of the top 5. Wow, Lance Erskine with a big old slide job. Stratford going to cross him over to retake that 2nd spot. All this while Jesse Costa pulling away once again. Can Stratford get into some clean air here and try to close in on the race leader?
It's all Costa right now out in front. 14 go on the board. 6 laps left to go. Brett Stratford finally has some breathing room. He's shaken off Lance Erskine, who's back there now dealing with Brent Bigelow. This is the battle for the 3rd spot.
Bigelow down low in the 71. Lance Erskine up high in the 88. Stratford last time by was a little bit quicker than our race leader. Again, about 2/10 faster, but that's not enough time with only 5 laps to go. He's a 2 1/4 behind our race leader.
Leader across the stripe now as there is 5 laps left. Make that 4 laps left, and Brett Stratford is there.
He is there, but he's got to deal with the same traffic Jesse Costa's dealing with. Costa up on the high side. Stratford might have shown him a nose there. Through 1 and 2, Stratford right up towards the tail tank of Costa. He lost a little bit of ground there in the 2nd turn. It'll be 2 laps to go. No, it won't be. 3 laps to go this time at the stripe.
No, it is 2. It is 2. Yeah. The scoreboard up in 1 and 2 is wrong, but we are right on the scoring pylon here on our monitor. So 2 laps left to go. And it's clear sailing between Stratford and Costa for the moment. As problems come out, Broden Weiler goes off the track right in front of the leaders, and we've got another one around in corner 4, Sheldon Bender. So puts it back under the Dixieland Grill caution flag.
You know, and this is where a race car driver can get all inside his head. Jesse Costa is a veteran. He has won a lot of races. But he doesn't see what was going on behind him. He doesn't know if Stratford's been hounding him for laps or if he had a bit of a cushion, Clint.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the scoreboard, guys. As you mentioned, on your computer, it is clear. They have been mentioning it out for the one-way and to some of the teams here and to the officials. They're having a problem with the scoreboard lagging. Not sure what that is or what would cause it. We'll get to the bottom of that Monday morning. But, yeah, the situation was the scoreboard was a lap behind, so we're going off Carter here, guys.
I blame Doug Leonard.
Why not, right? Daryl Knight says, trying to put a muffin in a toaster is one of the top 5 funniest quotes maybe ever. It's one of the best images.
Right? Muffins.
Muffins. Two to go. Sheldon Bender back under power. And what happened with Steve Murdoch? Oh, he moved up. I don't think he was penalized.
Well, that happens.
And he's worked his way up to 7th now, started 22nd. Now, I would have had to see where he shuffled in line, though, because he arced out so far out to the wall in corner 4. Was he supposed to start in front of Brian Anacoke anyways? That's
that could be.
I don't know.
He was just dinged 2 spots, so we'll see how that one works out, guys. They were on top of that one.
Okay. Yeah, it was so hard to tell because he was so far out of line from everyone else, and you're allowed to be. You just all have to be at the same point at the pylon.
Yep.
I believe there might have been some accordion action going on, and there was some passing going before they got to the cones, but things got jacked up a little bit, and looks like Murdoch paid the price.
I love Weird Al. That man made the accordion very cool.
I was like, what was that about? Now it makes sense, right?
He really
Oh, it's after 11. That's why random things are coming out of your head.
You're not wrong. The man's a genius. Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't.
Daniel Radcliffe plays.
I have not, actually.
It's a good movie.
Like, what does Weird Al have to do with any of this?
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Mind your business.
Oh. 100% Doug Leonard's fault for sure. There you go.
Hill Brothers Racing, aren't they fishing?
Still?
Something like that. They're not here.
Fishing last week, funeral this week, guys. Condolences to the Hill boys.
Okay, condolences. I'll take that back. Their hearts are in the right place.
Yep. Back into the green. It'll be green, white checker to settle this one.
Good launch for Jesse Costa, but Brett Stratford still going to drive to the inside. Close quarters off of turn number 2. Look out for Brent Bigelow.
Wow, what a race at the front. Coming to the white flag around the outside. Costa takes the lead away from Stratford. That was intense.
I'll bet you he hasn't taken a breath for a full lap. Here goes Bigelow to the inside. Checkered flag going to fly off of turn number 4. Jesse Costa going to take the win. Stratford second, Bigelow third. Erskine fourth with McDeman rounding out the top 5.
This is going to feel good for Jesse Costa. Long overdue. Come so close recently. You can see him pumping the fist. What a race between he and Stratford. As Stratford pulls up alongside to congratulate him. Jesse could have let off there in corner 2. He made a bold move on the outside. Made it stick. Drives his way to victory lane. That was a gutsy move off of corner number 2 by Jesse Costa. Let's watch it again.
Stratford. And I'll tell you what, to Stratford's defense, please show that replay again. Costa did have to change his line a little bit, but Stratford left a lane to the outside.
That was good, clean racing.
So even though Costa had to redirect himself, Stratford stopped before he got up to the cushion, which is normally where you would go on that type of a slider.
Well, Jesse Costa wasting no time jumping out of this D&O Towing 52 car here. He's got the helmet off. We're working on it still out of the car. Crew racing in for congratulations. And they are pumped up here tonight. Here he goes up top. Jesse Costa, your crate winner here tonight. Bring Jesse out front here and get a word with him as he gets his safety gear off. Brett Stratford in for a word. Brent Bigelow, solid run in his third crate feature here tonight. Jesse Costa gets the Slack Lumber feature winner's hat. And the only way to get one of them is by being here in the right spot. Jesse, congratulations. Welcome back to Slack Lumber Victory Lane. What a wild race out there. Talk about the last lap. Brett just came over and talked to you. What did he say? Because he run you really upside to the wall.
No, he left me just enough room. He could have done me worse than that. I appreciate him racing me clean. But a year ago today, I was hanging up in the catch fence pretty much. So it's good to get this win. Huge thanks to D&O Towing. We're not here without them. We've been using their truck to get us here since our truck's been broke down. Thanks Corbin, Don, huge support. The whole Gledhill family, Oakwood Transport, Larry, Eric, Nate and Ashley, obviously, Ackland Insurance for putting me in this car. Wells Foundry, Butler Built, Strode's, Welders Millwrights, Lone Wolf Fireworks, Tate's Automotive. My wife, she's watching right now, I'm sure. My parents, my dad, he works his ass off on this thing, and thanks to all our crew.
There you have it, Jesse Costa, your Strickland's crate feature winner as the Lone Wolf Fireworks light up the sky to complete community night here. Brett, solid drive, man. You're that close, but man, you drove Jesse hard, but still clean in turn 2. Talk about how bad you want to make that pass.
Yeah, you know, I want to make it bad, but I'm not one of those guys that just does something stupid and takes people out. It's not how I run. I mean, you do it to me, I will do it to you, but that was as clean as it can get out there. That was a real hard race. That's how it should be out here. You know, we're like a club. We're not out there trying to make a living at this. So I actually really enjoyed that. And I just hope that comes back to me someday. You know what I mean?
What'd you say to Jesse?
I just told him that was freaking awesome.
Good job, Brett. Brett Stratford is home-built BS39. We'll finish second. We'll get over here with our third-place driver, Brett Bigelow.
Brett Stratford interviews are never not fun.
You got to hang in there and see what he's about to say.
Well, Brent, solid run for you. I mean, you had a good run last week. Didn't make it out of the tech shed with some weight issues, but tonight looking really good, third place. You looked very comfortable in the crates. Talk about your drive tonight.
Yeah, the car was honestly dynamite all night. You know, the guys did great adjustments throughout the night and kept it really comfortable for me. So can't complain. Just picked up on the groove there. Just middle of the race, I just didn't know where I had to be. The car was a little tight for the top, so I got the signal there to run the bottom, and we all know we can layer down on the bottom. So we were making hay down there, and with 2 to go there, I thought I had a shot, but the 39 come across the nose, took the airway, and that kind of spoiled our chances. But hats off to the guys and the whole MBR group. They've been working their butts off since I climbed in the thing, and I'm super happy, and they're happy with the result, and we'll just keep digging.
Right on there you have your rookie, Brent Bigelow. He'll be third tonight. Second place, the BS39 Brett Stratford, and your winner, Jesse Costa, picks it up as Lone Wolf lights up the guy to take us home on community night. What a drive, guys.
Great night of racing, Adam, in all 4 divisions, and some new faces in victory lane. Good to see.
Phenomenal night of racing. Phenomenal night of fireworks. I think someone might have lit the factory on fire because it's just not stopping.
So that will wrap things up from Ohsweken Speedway. We'll be back next Friday night, 7:30 start time for the Touch a Truck or Tractor night. Make sure you bring the kids for that one. We'll have it all here on G-Force TV. So on behalf of the Stiers family, all our officials and crew, and on behalf of Clinton, Jeffrey, Adam Ross, I'm Greg Hellman saying so long. We'll see you next Friday night.
Broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.